Hola, Yopi, everybody. Good evening. Happy Umineko Thursday. Let me just check if desktop audio is on. No, it's not. Let's fix that. There it is. Since it's Umineko, we're gonna make the desktop audio slightly louder. And we are already. Oh, geez. Okay. Hi, guys. I just realized I forgot to turn on my ring light, so let me reach the back of my monitors. God, my setup is really needs a bit of an optimization. And there we go. Ring light is on. Straight into my retinas, and my phone arm is struggling, or more like it's partially covering the screen for me. I'm like, dang it, I need to read, but I managed to fix a little bit in time. So, all right, Umineko Thursday, right? Oh dear God. So, it's been a while since the last reading. Forgot when it was, to be honest, but I think it was at the beginning of the year, so this might just be the second Umineko Thursday of the year. And I'm not sure if it's gonna be the last or second to last, because from the looks of it, it looks like we're very, very close to what looks like to be a climax of the final chapter, but we never know. We might still get like have like 6 more hours to read, God knows, I don't know. So, quick recap before we begin. As usual, par for the course, we witnessed basically Erika appear with a very magnificent pirate hat. The pirate hat kills me. Yeah, and she arrived with goats on pirate ships with a cat banner, and she had the pirate hat. So Beato and the others were having a fierce fake debate, and then Goda messed us all up because suddenly he put his hands up, and through the whole debate he never had his hands up. So Erika was like, "Oh, you're tricking me." So everyone was like, "Kill her." And then, well, a fight happened. A pretty badass fight. And it looks like the Golden Land has been taken down, although we haven't seen how Beato's final stand with Erika went. Meanwhile, Batra, Lambda, and Anje are trying to get the key that opened the cat box. So, to prevent Burn from opening the cat box to the rest of the world. So, also, Lambda and Burn were having a very intense fight and a very lesbian moment, to the point you would think we should leave the room. They're having a private moment. And we ended on, I believe, it looked like Lambda had been out for the count and Batter went after. But Lambda wasn't quite dead yet, and the last scene we saw, I think, was Beato's first, basically last stand with Erika, and then that's where we left it off. Alright, so, all of that considered, where are we going now? I'm scared. Mom, pick me up. I'm scared. That's how it feels like right now. Alright, so... Ramba, Delta, and Burn can still fight to the death had passed through its phase as a dynamic clash of fireworks and was now a clash that was quiet and motionless. These two witches who possessed power on an entirely different level may have been truly equal in strength. The battle could only be resolved by mutual consent if one of them lost interest or found some reason for wanting to lose Imagine. With mutual consent. Since both were putting their all into the fight without yielding a bit, they were absolutely and completely equal. As I was saying, they're having a private moment. We should leave. Look at them go. Girlfriends. That's just normal girlfriend activities, guys.
もう少しなんだ。早く砂になっちまえ。ふざけた魔法人め。
Yes, just punch the circle. Maybe it will go faster. Never mind. He did just that. Battler irritated and punched the magic circle. No, sorry. Battler got irritated and punched the magic circle, but there was nothing he could do except continue to watch over it. After all, the only way to dissolve it was by waiting. However, the pair of them still felt relief, if only a little. Lamba Delta was very strong. Sorry, was really strong. Even in a battle with the spectacular, she fought on an even footing. No, if you consider how confident each side looked, she seemed to have a slight advantage in Battler's eyes. She would probably manage to buy them enough time. Anje would take the key and return to the Golden Land. Well, there is no Golden Land to go back to right now, though. They just had to endure a bit longer. However, they had no way of knowing what Lamba Delta's fate would be after this. She had disobeyed the Senate, the highest level witches in existence. Something brutal probably awaited her. However, even knowing this, Anje had to step forward into the future without looking back. That was the single duty given to her, the Witch of the Future.
Oni-chan, あれは何?
Reading time! Witchy time, yes! Correct! Sorry I didn't get to the chat, but hi Venatrix, how you doing? Good evening! Happy Umineko Thursday! Honestly, knowing Battler, he might actually punch through a magic circle. Right? He should just try. Battler, have you considered just trying harder? Punch harder! Boom.
まずいぞ。まさか敵の増援か。
More cats? Lamba Delta and Bernkenstein were glaring at each other, so they didn't notice. Heading towards them from the distance were several emerald green glints. That light proved that they were enemies. Meow! Just to... Or even better, grab, how do you say it in English? Alufolie? That shiny aluminum paper? Put it in the floor. Cats hate it. Cats hate it. Just use it. Aluminum foil, exactly. Thank you, Venatrix. Exactly. Take aluminum foil, put it all around you, and cats hate it. They won't touch you. All of the cats so far seemed like fish in a school, giving the impression that they'd be terrifying as a group, but not much of a problem by themselves. However, there was something different about the lights approaching them now. They were approaching in a beautiful, ordered formation, like a constellation. Battler quickly realized that this was something new. Oh no! Oh, we might have a problem! We might have a problem, guys! We might be fucked! Just by her tone, Battler was able to tell how great a witch this was. The black cats that surrounded her in a graceful and systematic constellation were all wearing large capes with elegant designs. It looked as though the great overlords from many worlds had been transformed into cats, leaving only their capes untouched. Cats with capes! That's so cute, though! What Battler imagined was quite true. That was exactly what had happened. There were the overlords from many worlds that formed Federine's personal guard. Their bodies took the form of cats merely as a sign of respect to their master, who took the form of a human. These were entirely different from the pack of wild cats that served Bernkenstein. Yes, wow. Is it? Federine is like the type that you are baking a cake and leaving it to cool, and she's like, well, waiting for the cake to cool down would be inconvenient for me, so bring it out now. Hi Trunks, how you doing? Good evening. Happy Umineko Thursday. She said this, her eyes flicked to Lamba Delta. And the latter bowed hurriedly. Bowed. Though Lamba Delta grinned, she was also sweating, her brow furrowed with tension. A while?
ダイヤウローラ卿。
ここは今日をもてなすにふさわしい場所ではない。会場への道を間違えられたか？ならば私が自らパーティー会場にご案内しよ
う。What you gonna do?
それは光栄ですわ、ダイヤウローラ卿。
You just say you were having a moment with your girlfriend. You needed to be in private. Simple as that. Federine Augustus Aurora, the legendary Great Witch. It is said that she surpassed the level of witches, becoming a creator, and that, upon reaching this forbidden plane, she was cursed with a deadly ailment. However, in life, she once turned her pet cat into a witch. They say that this second witch wandered the sea of fragments endlessly, searching for any fragment that can revive her master from the pits of death called boredom, if only for a moment. And so, the cat revived her master, revived the sacred witch who had reached heights none should reach. Just as witches look down at and mock humans from a higher world, calling them pieces on a game board, so she looks down at and mocks the realm of witches from an even higher world, calling them pieces on a game board. If a witch's strength is measured by the height of the world they are capable of reaching, then she was like a witch come back from the realm of the gods, one who had touched the highest forbidden heights and survived. Was there any chance of winning against her? No. Lamba Delta was unable to choose either victory or defeat by her own will.
我が巫女よ、友人と戯れるのは後にして、今は仕事をしてくれぬか。
With your friend, with her girlfriend, if you would excuse her.
わかったわ。
What?
途中でお使いを忘れてしまう天真爛漫さも猫の魅力である。
We might have a problem. Is the game related to Higurashi no Nakoroni? Yes and no. Yes, it's the same series. So when they cry, in Japan it's even called When They Cry 3 rather than, you know, it's Umineko no Nakoroni. So technically, not quite same universe as Higurashi, but loosely connected, so it depends how you want to read Umineko. If you want to read Umineko as its separate thing, or as loosely connected to Higurashi. Personally, I like to read Umineko as very loosely connected to Higurashi, but not enough to diminish Higurashi in a way. So still see Higurashi as its own thing, but Umineko with like extremely small connecting dots, basically. That's how I say it, but TLDR, the game is related to Higurashi in a way, depending how you choose to interpret it, but it's part of like a wider series. And Ryokishi is prone to really loving to reuse characters, which is why many like to interpret that there's meta connections here and there between between Higurashi and other works from When They Cry.
そうは思わぬか、ラムダデルタ卿。
Lamba Delta didn't say anything but hung her head low. From this position, it seemed that the key seal would dissolve at any second. However, Bernkenstein would probably find Batra and Ange before that. Once they got their hands on the key, they could leave this place immediately. Of course, this was amusing that they did so before Bernkenstein and Federine found them. Bernkenstein mustn't be allowed to move from the spot.
ゲームセットね、ラムダ。
Well?
私は大アウローラ卿の巫女よ。感激の魔女は朗読の巫女に保護を与えることを忘れてはいないわよね。
Lamba Delta still stood slumped over, without answering. The witch of theater going gave protection to her reader Mikos. I wonder if reader Mikos are technically what you can consider the narrator. If Lamba Delta attacked Bernkenstein, who was Aurora's Miko, then the Great Witch Aurora would follow her contract, prevent what she considered an attack against herself, and respond accordingly. That's a threat.
何をよ。
バトラは素直に白状したら全て水に流してあげるわ。
奇跡の魔女のあんたがバトラごとき小さな駒を恐れるの？
I love that she doesn't answer the question.
奇跡の魔女だからこそよ。あんな小石のようなやつでも起こす奇跡があることを 私は侮らないの。
その小石が今じゃ奇跡の魔女に大出世したものね。
Oh, what a jam!
もう一度聞くわ。
Haven't played the other games, just watched the anime as a teenager. Left me a bit disturbed. Higurashi is so incredible. It's literally an I watched the anime when I was younger, but I reread some arcs in form of manga. And whoa. Higurashi is so good. It's so well written. And someday I want to finish reading the entire like VN series, because the anime couldn't get as deep as Ryokishi does. And while I'm almost done reading Umineko, I have a very deep respect for how Ryokishi writes. He is... I can't understate how extremely good he is at writing horror and characters and just, wow, everything. But I still kind of like the anime, to be honest. I still like it quite a bit. Especially Kai, Higurashi Kai still makes me cry a lot. Especially Minagoroshi Hen is probably an arc that made me cry the hardest. Like, I think one of my top favorite scenes from all of Higurashi is the scene when Satoko stands up to her uncle in Minagoroshi Hen. It's... that scene gets me crying ugly every single time. It's just, wow. I can't shill Higurashi to death, so if it's not clear yet, I love Higurashi very much.
残念よ、ラムダ。それが返事のようね。
Bernkanstel turned her back on Ramba Delta. Then she told her master that she was leaving to prepare the key, and she started swimming towards the key room. If I let her go any further, she'll find Battler and Ange. Battler readied himself. This time, it was his turn to become a sacrifice. Even though he was nothing more than a single pebble, he could still put out an eye. Ah! A candy firework exploded right in front of Bernkanstel. What happened?
あんたは本当にバカだわ。
Oh, she said no. She said, screw it!
Lambda Delta.
Take down the system, Lambda! Do it!
やっちゃったわ。バトラー、エンジェ、あとは頑張りなさいよ。
The cat overlords changed their formation, becoming a ferocious constellation that surrounded Federine. Then each drew the most terrifying of magic circles from their respective worlds and began to chant. Oh, Lambda!
私は少し混乱している。
I keep saying they could have made a Muso game out of this episode.
我が婿よ、そしてラムダデルタ教よ。これはどういう余興なのか。ラムダは私が鍵を取りに行くのを邪魔したいみたいで。ほう、それはどういう意味なのか。
その意味がわかんないなら、フェザリーヌ、あんたちょっと酔っ払ってるんじゃない？
Whoa! Respect.
酔いざましが必要なんじゃないかしら。
Lambda Delta bluffed as well as she could. Her fingertips were shaking slightly. She's doing her best.
攻撃は主への攻撃とみなす。そなたも知らぬわけではあるまい。
知ってるわ。そのルールによると、私はあんたたちとやっぱり戦わなくちゃならないわけだわ。
Oh, Lambda, she has such courage.
ほう、私の巫女がそなたの巫女に失礼をしたか。
Yes.
ならば悪い。しかし教えてはくれぬか。今はそなたは巫女を持たぬはず。そなたにはいつの間に巫女がいたというのか。
それがね、いっぱいいるのよ。30人か40人くらい。
Would that be us? Chat, is that us?
もっといるかしら。このラムダデルタ、相手が誰だろうと巫女に売られた喧嘩は全部買い取っちゃうんだからね。そいつらはみんな絶対のハッピーエンドを信じてる。この絶対の魔女が そんな絶対を信じて頑張ってる連中をね、見捨てられるわ。
そなたの物語も
Sorry.
我が感激に値する。しかし今の私は感激者でなく
Spider dance counts for at least 8 Mikos. You are so right. We are 30 Mikos in total. One of us is 8.
我が巫女の親友であることを知るから一度だけ忠告する。この舞台を降りるがよい。我が観覧席にそなたのための特別な席を設けさせよう。
The idea of this being in stage play
あん
form.
たの物語と私が感激してる物語のどちらが面白いか考えているわ。
答えを聞こうぞ。
バトラたちの物語の方が100倍面白いわ。悪いけど今年の助演女優賞は私がもらっとくわ。あんたたち最後の人気投票は私に入れなさいよ。最低でもトップ5よ。いいわね。
You heard her, guys. If we ever get another Umineko character poll, Best Supporting Actress, the Oscars, we are writing Ramba Delta Umineko when they cry. That's the law. Might need to rewatch it, forgot most of it. Remember there was some mystery, but not if I fully understood it in the end. So if you only watched the first Higurashi anime, then you didn't finish the series, because that's the final arc. The final 2 arcs are basically 2 of the answer arcs, but there's like 2 more left. And those additional 2 arcs are the ones that are covered in Kai, which is the second anime. And that's basically how the mystery gets solved and concluded. As Ramba Delta pretended to joke around, she calmly focused the one weak point she could see. If she had a chance for a single attack, then a 1 in a billion shot at victory existed. It was that horseshoe-shaped memory device floating around Federine's head. Without that, she couldn't preserve her own existence. Destroying it was impossible, but if Ramba Delta could just jar it enough, she might be able to make it bug out. At least once in the past, Federine's memory device had been damaged and her personality and appearance had changed. However, she was aware of that herself and probably wouldn't let that happen again, no matter what.
よかろう、ラムダデルタ卿。そなたの脚本が準備できたならいつでも参られるがよい。
脚本なんて簡単よ。たった1行。華麗でキュートなラムダデルタ様が悪の黒幕アウアウローラを一撃でぶっ倒す。
愚かなラムダ。
She's doing her
そこまで
best.
あなたが愚かとは思わなかったわ。
No, I'm sorry, she's charming.
猫たちは手出し無用。ラムダデルタ卿より献上されるこの勇敢なる物語に対し、私自らが褒美を取らせよう。勇敢なるそなたにふさわしい物語と結末を褒美に取らせよ
フェザリーヌ・アウグストゥスアウアウローラ。
The fact that she commits to our Aurora. I respect her so much. I love her. Ramba Delta summoned magical power from her whole body and raised it in a mass above her head.
う。すまぬ。
Oh, then the world's time stopped.
そなたの脚本は採用しない。
What the
な
heck?
ぜなら
Rather than time stopping, it was more like flipping pages of a book that had stopped. In this motionless world, closely packed letters
この
appeared.
先の脚本を記すのは私であるからだ。
Oh, it was a tale that had been written up to this very moment. Federine Augustus Aurora! God. She's literally just... She's writing her story. And then she was like, no, actually, I'm gonna change things at last minute. Ramba Delta summoned magical power from her whole body and raised it in a mass above her head. That was where the paragraph ended. In this frozen world, Federine sat with her arms crossed.
参ったものだ。戦いを書くのは久しぶりでな。唐突にこのような展開で筆を預けられても 困るというもの。
Oh, when I get stuck writing, I try to write in reverse. In other words, instead of starting at the beginning, I start at the end and go backwards from there. That way, it's easier to set up foreshadowing, and I can write the story with my vision for the end in mind. The only downside is that I have to suddenly start at the climax without setting up the story first.
とりあえず戦いの顛末から遡って書いていこう。
Oh, we're gonna experience this fight in reverse.
そなたは私に敗れ生き絶える。
Oh, you've heard of Godmother roleplays? This is on a whole different level. As Featherine said, these words were added to the massive group of letters that filled the frozen world. However, she was starting from the end, so there was a large gap between the new worlds and the old ones.
どんな姿でそなたは敗れるのであろうな。そなたの勇敢さにふさわしい勇壮な最後が良いだろう。こうはどうか。よくわからぬが、何かに吹き飛ばされて本棚に叩きつけられ、獅子がバラバラに砕け散り、息絶えて暗闇に墜落して消える。
Oh, that's nasty.
なかなか派手な最後であるな。よし、これでとりあえずそなたの最後は決まった。
For now. Just the thought that she can be like, oh, actually, I want to change this, and then she rewrites the whole scene and makes her experience this again. That's so messed. It's so messed up, but such a meta cool thing. The blanks in the outline Featherine spoke of were being filled up. At the same time, Rambadelta's figure was wiped out. After crossing her arms and thinking again, Featherine pointed in a random direction. Rambadelta appeared, blasted away by something, and slammed spread-eagled against the bookshelf Featherine had pointed at.
さて、ここからこのような最後に至るまでの激しい戦いを、今の私は今日も見抜く通り少々酔いが回っている。
Oh no!
その部分は今度改めて時間を設けてじっくりと執筆することにする。今はこれにて許せ。 きっとそなたに気に入ってもらえる勇敢な戦いぶりを執筆することを約束しようぞ。
Oh my god! Featherine snapped her fingers, and it was over. Holy shit! Rambadelta had no idea what was going on. Before she could even blink, she was suddenly here, being slammed against a bookshelf. Oh, girl. She couldn't comprehend the something that Featherine had killed her with. However, that was only natural. After all, Featherine herself hadn't decided what that something was. However, Rambadelta didn't understand one thing. She was already dead. Omae wa mou shindeiru. Nani? Sorry, I had to. Streams of blood dripped from the corners of her mouth. Then lines of blood appeared on her wrists and ankles, her elbows and knees. She looked like a marionette doll of herself.
私何に殺されたの。
まったくだ、ラムダデルタ卿。良いアイデアがあったら聞かせてほしいぞ。
What the heck? Imagine walking up to your character and be like, so can you give me an idea how you died, please? Oh my god. Okay, so technically Featherine is Ryukishi's self-insert if you think about it. Still pinned against the bookshelf, Rambadelta let her head slump. Her wrist, ankles, legs, arms, and neck each split into a separate part, and the marionette shaped like her lost its strings, falling in pieces into the depths below. Oh my god. That's crazy. That's how my characters feel when I write the story outlines, I swear. Nothing remained. It was all swallowed up by the darkness beneath them.
化け物とは私を称える褒め言葉の一つであるな。
Alright, Ryukishi, I get it. I get the feeling he's got these exact comments and he would be like, oh, that's right, I am a monster.
エンジ見るな。お前は見るな。
Shedding frustrated tears, Anja closed her eyes tight. She must not look. The witch of the future must not accept Ramba Delta's defeat.
あいつはくたばってなんかいない。
Needed to check if the whistling wind is from the game or in real life. No, it's from the game, don't worry. They love using the sound effect.
ただ勇敢だった。
分かってるわ。あのラムダデルタが負けるはずない。
Pop. At that moment, there was a slight sound and the golden key that hung in the air shook. The seal had finally broken. Yes! The battler grabbed it Battler grabbed at it immediately. However, at exactly the same moment, the magical tremor spread throughout the vast key room. Featherine is coming! That tremor seemed to have shaken something inside my pocket. I stuck my hand in and found that the fragment Ramba Delta had given us to return to the Golden Land had shattered. Uh-oh.
くそ。ラムダにもらったかけらが。
We have to find a different way out.
惜しかったわね。もう逃げ場はないわよ。テラカステル。
Oh dear.
もう少し賢く立ち回っていたら、もう5秒は稼げていたかもね。そうしたらあんたたちはその鍵を手に黄金鏡に逃げ帰れていた。
If there was still one left.
ラムダが。主がバカだと。 ミコも苦労するわね。
No, she was brave. Don't be mean to your girlfriend. Although that's their MO, so. Oh? Featherine quietly showed her surprise. Surprise, not surprise, sorry. To truly surprise her was no easy task. Oh! Holy shit! Okay! Okay! Whoa! Alright then! The Witch of Miracles, who boasted that no one could even step her shadow unless she wished it, fell! After taking Batra's right fist to her face, she fell! She got punched! And pretty harshly too! Holy crap, Battler! Holy shit! Burnco's body immediately split into dust and reconstructed itself in front of Battler, as though nothing had happened. However, she was holding her cheek. She couldn't undo the fact that she had been hit. For the first time in 100 years, she had let someone tread on her shadow, or treat on her shadow, without her consent. Her face was gradually filled with shock. And Battler's? It couldn't be seen. His outstretched right arm was blocking it, so his expression couldn't be seen. Oh, the music! Oh, the music! The music is hitting hard. She didn't let the next strike hit her. Bernkenstein vanished like mist, then reappeared a short distance away. However, Battler only missed by a hair's breadth. Not because she had intentionally made that happen, but for real. Finally, she truly began to feel the pain of being punched in the face. For too many years, she had forgotten the very concept of pain. Very slowly, it was coming back to her. Oh, it's hitting hard. Berntastel writhed in anguish, holding her cheek. That feeling, forgotten for centuries, seemed to be hitting home hard. And the voice actress makes it very clear. Battler looked at her. Their eyes met. Once again, Berntastel remembered the emotion she had forgotten for hundreds of years. Oh, she's not looking okay, guys. She backed away! Oh my god, Daisuke's delivery! Daisuke Ono, I have so much respect for him. And then she shuddered. But Sorry, what Battler saw before his eyes was Bernkanstel shuddering for the first time in centuries. To Bernkanstel's eyes, it hadn't even looked like Battler rushing at her and punching. It was as though she had been sucked towards where he stood with his furious fist raised. When her eyes had opened wide in terror, Battler's massive fist had been all that she could see. He has the away hands, you see. Of course, he wasn't capable of hitting her. Bernkanstel was just like a shadow. She dodged by moving instantly and leaving an afterimage, but mere teleportation wasn't enough to escape from Battler's furious pursuit. True, trying to hit Bern was like enviously trying to hit the reflection of the moon on water with a stone. No matter how often you hit it, you can never smash the moon's reflection. But he would still do it, however Battler hit it and again, over and over, to prevent the moon from showing on the water's surface again. A fiercely thrown pebble sent ripples across the water's surface. It broke through the moon's reflection, broke through the water surface itself, leaving even the bottom of the pond bare, breaking through everything. His certain willpower broke through to a miracle. Oh, the music is so good! Umineko OST, always a banger. Never misses. A backwards kick that Battler shot out without even looking behind him split through empty space. Yo! In that space, Bernkanstel reappeared with a foot in her gut. Footsies! He's playing footsies! Take back the insults for your girlfriend. It's mean. We won't accept this. LMAO read gets good. That's him for real. Hard reads. He's playing footsies. The Witch of Miracles fell. For the second time she fell. Once, it would have been a miracle. Things that happen more than once aren't miracles anymore. Unless... Bernkanstel understood. Battler was capable of hitting her. Then she fell, was slammed against the floor, got up on her hands and knees and vomited. Whoa, how hard! How hard did he kick you? Whoa! She threw up violently over and over. Her face was covered with pain and vomit and tears and snot. I wish the sprite work actually let us see that. Not because of a twisted sense of morality or anything, but more of in the sense of anime, it's okay to have not conventionally pretty looking faces. Then she looked up at Battler with a furious expression and howled. And she wasn't howling at Battler. Oh my god!
すまぬが、私はラムダベルカスへの態度を記すので忙しい。
Oh my god! I can't with this right now! Girl's getting beaten up and she's like, sorry, I'm busy writing my fan fiction.
私は手を貸せぬのでな。お前たちが少し助けてやるとよい。
That's literally me. Taxes are knocking at my door. I'm like, sorry, I'm too busy writing this fan fiction in which Rorove makes a pancake for me. Federine's guard, the cat overlords, now formed a different constellation. Then each drew a magic circle and began chanting. We are waiting until my internet connection makes it back. Hey, OBS Studio, can you please? Can you please? We are back. Are we back? Every single time, always an hour in. What's going on? I exist. We exist. We are one yet many. We are alive. We exist. Featherine could not destroy my internet connection. Although I think she's too busy writing, so I think Bern can still try to bite through my internet cable. Featherine's guard, the cat overlords, now formed the different constellation. Then each drew a magic circle and began chanting. Now?
この猫たちね、それぞれがみんなあんたのようなゲームの主人公の慣れの果て。どいつもこいつもそれぞれの勇壮な物語で主人公を務め、その勇敢なる物語に名誉を授けられ、アウローラの警護を許された。それぞれがね、国やら星やら宇宙やらの存亡をかけて戦ってきたのよ。
Yeah, like Batter is right now.
あんたはせいぜい妹やら妄想の魔女やらとのゲームごっこがせいぜいじゃない。
But that is his whole world, Beato and Ange.
主人公の格が違うのよ。くばってくたばりなさい。ぶち込んでやれゲロカストナ。
Correction, these main characters are in fact on a totally different level from Battler, yes, but Battler is on a higher tier. Counter argument. So is Ange, actually. There are many spectacular magical spells depict at the beginning of a universe, the creation of planets, their destruction, and the universe's end, all in an instant. After that, not a speck of dust should have remained. She played all 12 episodes of Devilman Crybaby in maximum velocity. However, when the smoke cleared, there was a person standing there. It stood there, with its hands in its pockets and its head hanging quietly. Its face was in shadows and couldn't be seen. Battler? Battler seemed to be completely uninjured. Not only were his clothes not burned, but his hair hadn't even been disturbed. He kept his perm. Don't they get out on the cats? The cat overlords silently shook their heads, sending a short report to their master. Oh! Endless Nine is back. Welp?
どうやら猫たちにもお手上げのようだ。何が各界の魔王たちよ。あんたたちだってかつてはどこかのゲーム版の主人公だったんでしょ。
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, is this a remix of Dream and Discharger?
それがこのざま。味を知りなさいよ。
That's sick, I love it. The cats knew from the very beginning they hadn't known that they wouldn't be able to do anything with him as the main character of this game board. Well, Batter is the main character of this universe, and Anja too. That's true, and who is the game master?
私も物書きの端くれとしてそれを尊重せるわけにはいかん。私は感激の立場に戻ろうぞ。
Oh!
役立たず主。
She's like, oh, someone is writing for me. I'm out. She made Batter watch Haruhi Suzumiya and Order of Air Date, including the entirety of Endless 8, which is why Batter brought out Endless 9.
バター、我が巫女がそなたの仲間を愚弄したことを謝る。そしてそなたのゲームを紡ぐ権利がゲームマスターであるそなたにあることも理解した。そなたの物語はそなたが紡ぐ。それもよかろう。
Kind is like her giving Battler back the pen that was never hers to begin with.
だが我がミコも今はそなたのゲームのゲームマスターでな。2人が同時にゲーム版を広げたらしい。一つのゲームに2人のマスターとはめったにないことだが、私はこの奇跡を喜んでいる。
Because thinking about it, at the end of the day, all these extra characters that are not part of the game board, like Lamba Delta, Bernkastel, who else do we have? Maybe Erika even. I know Erika's a piece and she has a plausible theory of being in Rokkenjima due to her having coincidentally fallen overboard from the boat during that time. But technically she's also an extra character thrown in that wasn't necessarily part of the original story, you know? She's kind of Bernkastel's self-insert. But yeah, Featherine is basically oh, what's her name again? I forgot. Hachijo. Yeah, if she's Hachijo, technically, what she's doing is basically rewriting the real tale of Rokkenjima, right? And the ones who know what goes on in Rokkenjima are the ones who actually lived through it. So Battler, in this case.
そなたたちの最後のゲームにふさわしいものになると確信したからだ。
In this way, her basically being like, okay, it's not my place to be writing this, because maybe she can write basically a fan fiction of what happened, but the true story is not hers to write because that's Battler's experience. In a way, her writer statement makes sense in this way. For me, personally, that is. Man, I've had my fair share of game master drama, but it's usually about the bard getting a little too romantically involved with the cleric or how rude was this turn. I've had a few Dungeon and Master experiences as a player, and my older brother was the Dungeon Master, and he told me how 99% of the times the story derails so hard because me and a friend that were playing together with Dungeon and Masters did things so unexpectedly that he had to rewrite the whole scenario on the spot. Technically, we wrote it in the end, right? The players, and I think that's an interesting aspect of the Dungeon and Dragons dynamic, or pen and paper experiences. It's not my place to be writing this. Damn, I wish I could send that idea back in time to teenage me. It's... I don't know how I can explain this. It's I basically already said in terms of Umineko specifically, but I wouldn't quite know how to write it in a real life sense. I think the only examples I could think of would be either reinterpretations of an original book, or basically of writing an autobiography of sorts of someone else. And honestly, the only examples I can think of are actually World War II survivors and Holocaust survivor stories. Or at least some try to water down the real experiences these people have, and it's not their place to write that story. It's the place of either the person who wrote the autobiography, the experience, or one of their family members. In this case, for example, Anne Frank is an example I can think of, where people have legit tried to change the story to suit a more different kind of vibe, and it's kinda yikes. But in the case of Umineko, it's more in a fictional sense. But if we basically see it in a perspective that the Rokkenjima incident is a very real incident where people have been writing a lot of forgeries and fanfictions of, maybe it kind of applies too. I'm sorry, I derailed. Let's get back to the fight.
なるほどね。ゲームマスター同士が戦うならそのゲームに乗っ取るべきだって言いたいのね。最初からそうだと言えばいいのに。
Bernkansel slowly got to her feet and made her body melt away like mist. Then she appeared in the air once again, facing Battler.
いいわ。あんたのゲーム版のルールで戦ってあげる。だって私はあんたたちほど悠長じゃないから。だそして圧倒的に出題して瞬時に終わらせてしまうわ。私のお相手は誰？二人がかりで一向に構わないわよ。
お兄ちゃん、私も戦うわ。
Yes, come.
来るな。
No! Let her fight!
どうして？
お前はそこで、そして今度こそ俺が伝えたかったことを理解しよう。
お兄ちゃん。
それでいい？アウローラ。私が立ち会い人となろうぞ。
She's just sitting in her seat. Like, she went to the side, pulled up a chair and was like, alright, go on.
我が巫女を打ち破れたならそなたらを黄金鏡へ送り返すことを約束しよう。黄金鏡まだ残っていればの話だけれ
ど。俺はみんなを信じてる。
そうよ。
He believes in his wife, okay, and in the entire family.
ディアトやみんなが負けるはずがない。
Are we switching back to the Golden Land? Never mind.
なら強砲は早い方がいいわね。エリカ報告を許すわ。いらっしゃい。
When Bernkansel snapped her fingers, Erika appeared with a bow. Bow. Sorry, not a bow. She appeared with a ribbon bow. like on the top of her head, she comes with a bow like, yes, master, I come with a report.
悪かったわね、エリカ。あなたがせっかく朗報を持ち帰ってきてくれたのに待たせてしまって。
Beware, Aurora has a time-stopping twin named Roadrora. Oh, yeah, that's true, right? Oh my god, gonna start calling Hachijo Roadrora.
お喜びください。我が黄金鏡が消滅しましたことをご報告申し上げます。
Oh no.
嘘だわ。
黄金鏡は完全に崩壊。瓦解し、そのすべてが虚無の海に沈んだことをご報告申し上げます。人間は愚か、幻想の住人に至るまで、そのすべては消滅いたしました。
嘘よ。私は信じない。
なら、信じさせてご覧に入れましょう。
Oh god.
我が主、これを。
Erika humbly presented an object wrapped in cloth with a ribbon, with a bow. It's shone with a golden light. Oh, it's the pipe, isn't it? It's Beato's pipe.
黄金のリンゴかしら。
Oh?
黄金鏡の主、ベアトリーチェの心臓にございます。
Oh, that's messed up. How dare you?
ベアト。
Not his wife! Not like this! Bernkansel pinched it between two fingers, held it aloft, and gazed at it.
こんな様になってもまだ動いているのね。かわいいわ。ベアトリーチェ、あんたというゲーム版を再び誰かが広げてくれるかもしれない。まだそう信じているのよね。
大丈夫よ、お兄ちゃん。私たちはベアトが討ち取られるところを見てない。あれはエリカたちの策略だわ。私たちの士気をくじこうという策略よ。あるいはベアトの策略だわ。やられたふりをして姿を変えているのよ。ベアトリーチェが、みんなが、黄金鏡が滅ぼされるわけなんてない。
It lives in your heart. Maybe that's the answer.
そうよね。 魔女がそう信じればそういうことにもできるのかもしれないわね。だから見せてあげるわ。よく見ていなさい。1998年の未来の魔女。
Burn Castell threw the golden heart into the air like an apple. Then, with the blood-red blade of the scythe that appeared in her hand, she split it. Oh dear. Not like this! Not like this! She took our queen!
ベアトリーチェは1986年10月によって彼女が生み出した黄金鏡は完全に滅び去った。黄金鏡に生かされていたお前の親族たちも全員滅び去った。お前の父も母もそしてもちろんバトラも二度とお前のところに戻りお前の名を呼ぶことはない。
Oh dear.
未来の魔女には解釈を好きに変えて上書きをする力があるわ。でも一つだけどうあがいても書き換えられない事実がある。それが死よ。肉体的あるいは精神的なあらゆる概念の死をあんたは覆せない。過去の魔女が未来の魔女に食らわせることのできる唯一の真実の刃よ。
Oh dear. Yes, hang in there, girl. I believe in you.
お前は受け入れるって決めたろ。誰も帰ってこなくても生きると。お前は決めたろ。
Yes.
分かってる。分かってるけど。
Even so, a tiny sliver of hope had remained inside Ange's heart. Despite everything, if she was favored by some miracle, maybe someone would come home after all. It doesn't matter when. Could be 10 years later or 50 years later. Doesn't even matter if they've forgotten my face. I believe that someone might come back someday. And I decided to live with that tiny hope in my heart. Even though I accepted everyone's death, even though I saw it in the book of the single truth, I still thought that it wouldn't be so bad to believe in a miracle just a little. A miracle you believe in, even though you know it won't happen, is hope. So the witch who knew that miracles don't occur had ruthlessly torn that hope away. There is still hope though. If the person who Hachijo saw is in fact Battler, and I did say it could be Battler or maybe Ange, but my belief is probably Battler because when everyone started showing up, the entire cast, sans Ange, in Rokkenjima, we didn't see Battler. So that's why my belief is that it's probably Battler. And Burn did specifically say Battler can come back and speak her name. And we know that the person who Hachijo found in the road has amnesia. So in a way, you can interpret someone having amnesia as that person dying, because they basically, if they don't regain their memory, it's as if they've become a new person. So in a way, there's still hope. There's still hope. If the interpretation that it's Battler is correct, but it could be someone else. It could be Ange.
あんたが今泣き言をささやくその兄もすでに死んでいるわ。お兄ちゃんは死んでない。ここにいる。ここにいるもん。
泣くな、エンジェ。
でも
泣くな。
At Battler's shout, Ange bit back her tears.
だからなんだ、未来に生きるお前に過去の俺たちが何の意味がある。エンジェ、お前は何の魔女だ。俺たちの生死なんかお前には全く関係がないだろ。
んなことない。生きててほしい。
違う。生き死にをお前は超えられるだろう。
Anja didn't understand what he was telling her. So stunned into silence, she frantically considered what her brother might be trying to say. Battler slowly lifted his face and stared at Bernkastel.
そしてお前は魔女じゃない死神だ。
Oh, yeah, it's a kinda... You can kinda see it that way, because... Lord... The way she comes swinging at people.
そうね、私はあらゆる奇跡と希望を刈り取る鎌を持つ。ならば、きっとそうに違いないわ。
エンジェから生きる希望を奪い取り、死へいざなう死神だ。
Yeah. Technically, that's it. That is what happened, right? Burn made... coaxed basically Anje to view into the cat box, and thus the truth hurt her in such a degree that she didn't want to accept it and threw herself off the building. You're the one who threw about truths of the past, stealing the future from Anje's eyes and forcing her to look only at the past. And you're the one who thrust the hope-crushing single truth in front of her, gently pushing her from behind as she, of her own accord, took that step from the skyscraper's roof off into the world of nothingness.
今こそお前という呪縛からエンジを解き放つ。エンジはもう過去の呪いにとらわれない。未来に踏み出す。だがそこはお前が誘おうとする奈落の虚空にじゃない。エンジが力強く生きる1998年より先の未来なんだ。
I gotta focus on work for a bit, and this is too interesting. I gotta play this. My trashy heart demands it. Yes, please. Oh my god, Venatrix, please read Umineko. It's godlike. It's incredible literature and has incredible music and voice acting too. If you play the console mod, but still, top tier literature. Can only recommend. But also, lurking is very much appreciated. I hope you enjoyed the what appears to be the climax of the final episode.
人間は過去を見ながら後ろ向きに未来へ歩む哀れな生き物。だから簡単な落とし穴に気づけず、真っ逆さまに無残に滑稽に転落する。
来いよ、ベルンカスタル。過去の魔女のお前に未来の輝きは遮れない。
さあ、行くわよ。あんたのゲーム版のルール。密室の謎を出題してあげるわ。でもね、私は短期で圧倒的でめんどくさがり屋だから、全部一度に出題してあげるわよ。
Lord. Bernkastel spread her hands, and it seemed as though a halo or angel wings were spreading out behind her. Oh! Damn, fancy CG! Each one of the countless rays that spread out from her were the blue streaks of closed room mystery blades. Bernkastel had traveled the sea of fragments for many years, had gathered these countless closed room mysteries as souvenirs from all over the place. All those rays twisted at once and aimed towards Battler. It was as though infinite giant snakes had turned their heads to stare at him.
一つでも謎を打ち漏らしたら、さようならよ。私はベアとみたいに10月5日の24時までに回答すればいいなんてほど即答できなきゃ死。
Damn! Instant reaction. I think you pull it off. I believe in him. In other words, this was no mystery. This wasn't an intellectual game, but a merciless assault.
死ね。
Ah! Snake! Yikes! I don't like snakes. All at once, hundreds of guided lasers known as mysteries shot at Battler. The complex geometric figure drawn by those blue lasers was nothing but divinely beautiful. Each one was a mystery. Trying to solve each one in its oppressive hailstorm would be like threading a storm of approaching needles. Oh! Battler flew freely through this vast open space, dodging the beautiful blue streaks of mystery as he shot them down one after another. The entirety of the mystery knowledge he had built up before this day told him the answer to each puzzle. Each time his eyes glowed with the answer, one of the mysteries shattered. However, each mystery was only one out of hundreds. This hardly rose to the level of opposition or resistance. He's doing his best. He's doing his best.
お兄ちゃん、無理よ。逃げて。
解けないミステリーはないように逃れ得ぬ運命だってない。
お兄ちゃん。
見ていろ、エンジェ。俺がお前に伝えたいことを見過ごすんじゃねえぞ。
Yes. The final thing that he'll teach you. By now, the bundle of mysteries looked like one giant snake with blue streaming behind it. Battler skillfully dodged it, precisely splitting its many fangs off one by one. Even though he knew his resistance was useless, like trying to pick up all the grains of sand on a beach one by one.
やるわね。本格ミステリーは得意なの。じゃあ変革は？他にも他にも、古今東西のあらゆるミステリーに挑んでもらおうかしら。
Even though Battler was still fighting the giant snake, wings appeared behind Burn once more. And they gave birth to 7 more huge snakes. It looked like a great dragon with 7 heads.
確かにあんたはなかなかの読書家にしてミステリー通だわ。でもまだまだ若い。あんたが読んだ本の数やミステリーの数なんてたかが知れている。世の中にはあなたがまだ読んだこともない謎やトリックが無数に存在することを知りなさい。
お兄ちゃん、もう無理よ。お願いだからもう逃げて。ブルーカステルには勝てない。
Battler's expression remained calm. However, his whole body was covered with sweat and he was breathing hard. It was clear that he couldn't overcome this onslaught, though Battler himself refused to admit it. Battler wiped away his sweat and fixed his gaze on the 8 snake heads that surrounded him in 3 dimensions.
エンジェ、お前は家族の誰かが生きているかもしれないという奇跡を信じ、12年を生き、そしてその心を失った。お前は一度起こらぬ奇跡の前に屈したんだ。
それは
なら未来へ踏み出そうとするお前を見送る俺が再び奇跡の前に屈するわけにはいかねえんだよ。
そうね。それでも私はあんたたちの奇跡と希望のすべてを借りたい。奇跡も希望もすべて無慈悲にね。
What was now an 8-headed dragon opened its 8 jaws. It looked for weak points from all angles, hoping to swallow Battler in a single gulp. He wouldn't be able to dodge any longer.
エンジェさん、奇跡ってやつを期待してるならおあいにくですよ。レアとは今や完全に滅ぼされ、それを赤で宣言までされました。それが何を意味するかわかりますか？レアとが滅んだということ、黄金鏡が滅んだということ、それは誰も彼もが消え去ったことを意味するんです。つまり都合よくこの場に現れてピンチを助けてくれるような味方はもう一切存在しないということです。
Wrong, she has Amakusa. He breaks through the sky and he comes through in from the ceiling like, yo. He comes in with the saxophone. Okay, never mind, but you need to find strength in yourself, girl. You still have yourself. You can fight still. Beata has been destroyed and that's been confirmed in red. Therefore, no one else could come to rescue them. Even Eva was a resident of the Golden Land. After bravely breaking the key seal earlier on, she had probably hidden away somewhere. However, now that Beato had been destroyed, all of the residents of the Golden Land had met the same fate as ice under the sun. Any faint hopes Anje might have had that Eva was hiding in the shadows, ready to save them from this final pinch, had been completely crushed from the moment Bernkanstel smashed that golden heart. There was no one left to save them from this crisis. She couldn't hope for the appearance of any new factor that might save her brother. And what about Anje herself? She could only watch from where she stood. If I help, will I be able to bring about some kind of miracle? But I don't know that much about the mystery genre. I've only watched Beato's game fragments, gathering some basic training on how to fight. At best I can avoid slowing him down, but I can protect my brother. But I can't just watch.
クナ、それでもお前は見ていろ。そして考えろ。
何を？
一番最初の6歳の時のお前の一番最初の心に戻れ。
Go back to when you had everything in the palm of your hand in the terms of miracles and hope
6歳の私の心
and whimsy.
お前は真実を求めて12年間を生きた。だがそれは本当の一番の願いじゃなかっただろう。
私の一番の願い。
その願いと希望を俺たちは守りたかったから。しかしお前は残念ながらそれを台無しにしちまった。だからその希望を捨てて未来に歩み出さなきゃいけない。でもな、それでもな、お前に心の力があるなら持てるんだよ。
Yes.
何を？
思い出せ。一番最初の願いを、一なる真実を知ってなお思い出せ。
The single truth, even after learning the heartless truth that everyone is dead and no one will come home, remember. Remember your very first wish.
お兄ちゃん！
There was a cataclysmic flash, as brilliant as the birth of a sun. No! Battler! The best protagonist! All the palely glowing snakes ran through Battler. He was stained red, surrounded with a cloud of blood. Then he stumbled, and in the end, he looked at Anje. Anje couldn't say anything in response. The light in Battler's eyes faded, and slowly his body began to fall. It reached the ground and gently landed like something settling on the ocean floor. Anje rushed towards him and saw the last expression that would ever cross her dead brother's face. His eyes were opened wide, filled with an unwavering determination until the very last second.
エンジェさんはミステリー得意でしたっけ？バトラに比べたら全く劣るわね。
The waving snakes raised their heads and surrounded Anje. Anje had no blades to fight with. She could only cling to her brother's dead face, saying his name over and over.
意外に退屈な最後だったわ。
Oh, she's still watching. Hold on. The 8 snake heads all attacked at once. Anje held her brother's dead face, thinking about his final words. Remember your first wish, girl? My very first wish. It could only be one thing. That everyone would come home. That fueled my life for 12 years, until I finally wore out and abandoned my own hope. In exchange for the hope I'd abandoned, I began searching for the truth. Then, at the end of the truth, I was forced to see a brutal ruthlessness that I didn't need to know about. And as a result, I was faced with the true despair of knowing that no one would come home. That final hope, which I still felt attached to even after abandoning it, was crushed. The single truth. If only I didn't know that, I might still be able to hold on to that faint hope. But she still was. She still was. But now... It was just a sliver, but she still held on to it. You can still have it. If there's strength in your heart, you can still have it. Remember your very first wish. Oh? Battle was coughing. Impossible. His whole body had been pierced and he had been completely dead. For him to cough would be too much of a miracle to be possible.
だからどうしてなのにどうして蘇れるの
Battle rose to his feet slowly. Psych! He lives! He lives! He's alive! Let's go! Battle rose to his feet slowly. The blood still dribbled from his mouth. His expression was fearless. However, Anja didn't stand up. She kept sitting, her head lowered.
いいウォーミングアップになったぜ。始めようぜ。ベルンカステレ。
Let's
第二ラウ
go!
ンドよ。
Yes, round 2. Like in a fighting game.
そんなどうしてです我が主死者が蘇れるはずなんてない
Unless...
ありえないバトラはどうして蘇れるのよ生きてるわよお兄ちゃんは赤き真実でバトラは死んだって宣言してるのよなのにどうして生き返れるの世界中全てが死んだって言った私だけが世界でたった一人信じるのよお兄ちゃんは生きてるそしていつかきっと私のところへ帰ってきてくれる
Yes, girl. I want to cry. I'm doing everything in my power not to start sobbing.
お前がその希望を失わない限りついえる奇跡なんてない。
奇跡の魔女を前にしてお前が奇跡を語るな飲み込めすりつぶせ兄弟揃って消し去ってしまえ
消せやしないのさ。
世界全てが認めなくても私たちが信じる限り奇跡は起こるのよ
Yes. I want to cry. I'm doing my best not to start sobbing, guys. I'm really trying. The 8 wriggling snakes had transformed into a massive whale jaw and swallowed everything.
奇跡なんて起きないお前が心を許せる者は誰も存在しないだから死ねーいるわみんなが私を守ってくれる
The voice reminds me of Naruto for some reason. Another anime I watched as a teenager. Well, none of these people are voiced by what's her name, Junko Takeuchi. It might be possible that one of these people has voiced a character in Naruto though, because Umineko's voice cast is an all-star cast. Like Daisuke Ono voices Battler, and Daisuke Ono has voiced, for example, Jotaro in JoJo. The cruel whale of mystery that tried to swallow everything was gouged deeply by a massive wedge. This deeply pounded wedge could only be used by those who had talent and a deep love for mysteries. Queen! It's our queen! My beloved! Hello! The woman who stood back to back with Battler launching stakes was very, very clearly... Yes! The queen is back!
どうして赤き真実で死亡を宣言したのに
So, just the color.
あんたの赤き真実なんだってのよ赤き真実は絶対それは誰が抗おうとも絶対に覆せない完全なる真実
False. There's the golden truth.
世界中の全てが私の家族を否定してもそれを一なる真実として突きつけても私は認めないわなぜなら
Anja slowly rose to her feet. Yes! The family! Maria's here too! She's here and ready to throw hands! Around her, the shapes of people slowly appeared and they also rose to their feet. The Ushinomiyas are ready to take... to fight! Kumasawa's sprite is killing me! I know she just has her hand over her other hand, her palm, and is being very gentle as usual, but for some reason that registered me as Kubasara cracking her knuckles. She was like, alright, Grandma is done being nice. No more macaroons. One after another, a whole crowd of them. They were Anja's family, her relatives, everyone from Rokkenjima. That wasn't all. My husband! My husband! And Erika's girlfriend too. Hi. That wasn't all. Everyone from the Golden Land and all of the illusions appeared, and following Anja's lead, they rose to their feet. Then all of them glared at Birkenstell.
世界中が否定しても私は捨てたりしない。絶対にみんな生きてるって希望を。そして私は至ったわ。それが私の魔女としての境地よ。こいつただの未来の魔女じゃないの？
Seems like it.
過去には後悔の涙を流すことしかできない無力な魔女じゃないの？私は黄金の魔女エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。称号は黄金と無限反言。
Yes, that's right. Actually, she did resurrect Sakutaro, didn't she? In episode 4, she has shown that she has that power.
至ったね、エンジェ。
ええ、ありがとうお姉ちゃん。
Yes.
長き日々の果てに私はようやく至ったわ。
お前なら至れると信じてたぜ。
ありがとうお兄ちゃん、受け取ったわ。
Took 12 years, but she understood.
最後のゲームで伝えたかったこと。
Was love. Was
消
love.
え去れゲロカス妄想。そんなの認めるわけねえだろ。みんなは永遠に私と共にあるわ。誰が赤き真実見て何度殺そうとも私はそれを拒否する。私のもとに何度でもみんなは蘇る。私は反言の魔女エンジェ。私の世界はお前の赤き真実では傷一つつけられない。
Yes. Yes. Girl, go. Slay. Yes, the CG is so pretty. I love it. Anje, or rather Anje and her family and her friends all fired off golden streaks at once. They were the same as the marks left by Birkenstell's great snakes. However, the glow inside these was gold. Then they wriggled, combined into one single mass, and transformed into an eagle that now had 2 wings. It wasn't one-winged anymore. Thanks to Anja's absolute willpower, the golden eagle had gained the wing it needed to fly into the future. Those spread wings made Birkenstell and the whale shrink back. Oh!
後ろ宮のわしは振り返らない。
Trying everything in my power not to be like a blubbering, sobbing mess right now.
そして絶対にくじけない。
Help! The golden eagle easily swallowed the blue whale with its wings, grinding it to bits, and it didn't let the whale's master escape either. It was now Birkenstell's turn to run. Birkenstell didn't fight the golden eagle. She couldn't! In this world of Anges, where even the red truth couldn't hurt anyone, what sort of attack could affect her? She frantically ran this way and that, throwing one wedge of red truth after another at the Ushiromiya family. Ushiromiya Kinzo is dead. Ushiromiya Kraus is dead. Ushiromiya Natsu is dead. She repeated this over and over and over, but no one fell down. Anje wouldn't accept it, so they couldn't pierce anyone.
こんなエンドレスナインがあるの。赤き真実さえ通じないなんて何なのよ。黄金の真実って赤き真実に打ち勝てる黄金の真実って一体何なのよ。
We call it the word of God.
信じる心よ。それは私たちの総意。私たちが認めて共有した真実の前にお前の赤き真実など何も貫けたりはしない。
Yes.
あばよ、ベルンカステレ。これが本当のチェックメイトだ。
この私が認めない。
Well, but you have to. Sorry, girl. The massive golden eagle finally swallowed Birkenstell whole. It then slammed into the vast ceiling, and there was an incredible explosion accompanied by an earthquake. From the cracked ceiling, along with many falling chips, a single black cat plummeted and slammed against the floor. Owie! The poor cat! Erika ran up to it, repeatedly calling out to her master, hugging it. Then she realized that it was still breathing, and simultaneous expression of relief and shock rose to her face.
安心なさい。私の真実に傷一つ許さないように。あんたたちの真実にだって私は傷一つつけないわ。
Oh, the way she says it feels like an extra salt.
ボロ雑巾になってるぜ。
お給くらいはサービスということにしておけ。レアとあんた、あんまりお兄ちゃんと慣れ慣れしくしないで。私はあんたたちの関係を認めたわけじゃないんだからね。
She's saying it with a tsundere tone. She will accept it eventually.
愚か者め、わらわをよくも生き返らせよって。もうダメであるぞ。わらわとその愉快な眷属は生涯そなたを苛むであろうぞ。そしてわらわとバトラのイチャイチャぶりを見せつけてやるのだ。うわっ。
Oh?
あら、意外と便利ね。暗号の魔法ってオンオフ自由自在なのね。
Look at her, she's oh, girls. Beato kept appearing and disappearing like the light bulb turning on and off. Damn, it's just so funny. Anja seemed to be enjoying herself. Protect your wife.
エンジェ、そのくらいで許してやれ。
いいわ。お兄ちゃんが言うなら許してあげる。
Be nice to his wife.
エンジェすごいよ。うりゅー。
Baby!
エンジェ様。
Yes, her girlfriend.
反言の魔女。おめでとうございます。
Now those two need to get married, Mammon and Anje.
これで私たちずっといつまでも一緒なんですね。
Yes.
そうよ。
Why are you so far apart? Take hands and kiss.
半魔法の毒素なんて関係ない。いつまでも永遠に私と一緒よ。
Yes.
偉いぞ、エンジェ。
She is the toppest tier level of Yume shipper out there. She is like, Mammon is my wife forever.
よく言った。
Everyone surged forward, squishing Anje. They tried tossing her into the air, but dropped her onto her butt, and everyone laughed. Anje looked a bit resentful, but when her brother lent her a hand, she got up and joined the circle of smiles. Just as it should be. Everything is right in the world. A quiet applause greeted them. Federine, their witness, had acknowledged their victory and was clapping for them.
見事であったぞ。
Oh,
エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ卿。
girl, girl.
そなたにこの奇跡を祝して我が名において今日の称号を許す。そなたの紡し物語はなかなかに愉快であった。
I hope when the stage play gets adapted that Federine just walks to like the first row seats and just watches the rest.
そう身構えずともよい。私はそなたを祝福しているのだから。
Federine smiled serenely. Then the cat overlords broke their positions in their constellation and lined up behind her. It was clear that it was not only a peaceful action, but a part of a solemn ceremony.
我が巫女は打ち破られた。そしてその命を奪わなかったことに感謝する。見ての通り、あれは私を退屈させぬための可愛い飼い猫。
Yes, thank you for not killing Birkenstell, Anje. Killing cats is a deal breaker for me.
彼が死んでしまっては私も退屈するのでな。
The true strength of this being, who preferred to Brenkenstell as a pet cat, had already been made clear during her fight with Ramba Delta. Even so, Anja spoke.
私はラムダデルタを殺したあなたを許さないわ。
おや、反軍の魔女殿の言葉とは思えぬ。そなたが望めばいくらでも蘇らせられるではないか。
え、蘇らせられるの？大丈夫だ。
No way, yeah, reviving a spectator might be a different
ラ
task.
ムダデルタ教はそなたの力でどこかで生き返っている。安心せよ。
うむ、すでに私の用意した感激石に移られている。
She's like there with her popcorn.
安心せよ。手厚くもてなしている。
I hope she also sneaks into the audience in the stage play. That would also be very, very, very cute.
本当に？ならよかった。
Anja finally relaxed and let her tension leave her body.
さて、バトラよ。これでそなたの最後のゲームのゲームマスターはそなた一人になった。
As God intended.
そうだな。あんたんとこの猫はこれでリタイアだろうな。
そなたのゲームの最後の儀式を済ませるべきではないか。我が巫女は猫のように忘れっぽいが、時に猫のように執念深い。今のうちに儀式を済ませた方が良いと思うのだが。
ああ、じゃあお言葉に甘えてそうさせてもらうぜ。
私は立会人となり、その顛末を記すことにしよう。
Thank you for writing it out for us.
最後の儀式。このゲームもいよいよ終わりなのね。
Appears like it. Battler nodded silently. Then he stepped out from the crowd and motioned for Anja to follow him. As Anja passed by each member of the Ushiromiya family, they cheered her on, giving her words of encouragement. Battler took out the golden key and handed it to Anja. It now had the same glint it had possessed when he had first given it to her. Oh! Then two doors appeared out of thin air on either side of them. They had a stately design, making the importance of this choice clear.
ノーヒントでどちらかを選べと？
とんでもない。ヒントは出すさ。今から簡単な問題を出す。二択の簡単な問題だ。そしてその答えを園児はどちらかの扉を開くことで選ぶんだ。
なるほどね。
Alright. Yeah, wait. Battler and Beato both still had one puzzle left for us, didn't they?
ハロウィンパーティーの続きってことだわ。
Yes.
あのパーティー、私寝落ちしちゃったのよね。
Wait, hold. If this is a continuation of the Halloween part, do I have to make a choice? I think I don't think so. I think Anja will make her own choice because all of this entire episode, while we still partook in the Halloween party, I believe as a present from Ryukishi, the entirety of episode 8 afterwards has been very much so about how it's Anja's choice. So I don't think they'll give that final choice to the reader. But just in case, you never know, I'm gonna save. Just in case, because Ryukishi, I have an eye on you.
だからちゃんと締めくくることができて嬉しいわ。
Yes.
ベアト。
I like how the images are literally just the same in a different perspective, but mirrored. I love it.
前。
Gives it a bit of a funny perspective. All right, Beato, what you got for us?
あなたはわらわの問題を解く前に眠ってしまったからな。出題できて嬉しいぞ。参ったわね。相当難しそうだわ。
うりゅう、大丈夫。エンジェなら大丈夫。
Yes, I believe in her.
どうかな。
覚悟せよ。難しいぞ。
落ち着け、エンジェ。簡単な問題だ。一番いい選択肢を選ぶにはどうすればいいか。
バトラよ、ヒントが過ぎるぞ。
You
未
are.
来の魔女、エンジェ教の凱旋である。そなたは見送るだけにとどめよ。
Yes. I believe she'll pick
だな。
she'll pick a good option that will be good for
じゃ
her.
あ、ここからはベアトに譲る。頼むぜ。
Alright.
うん。では行くぞ。
Anja gulped and stared up at the witch's face. Imagine it's then the world's hardest puzzle. Wait. Purple text? I don't like this. The witch held out her left hand, bringing it close to Anja's face. Then she slowly spread her fingers.
わらわの手のひらをよく見るがよ。
Just like in the sprite. How cute.
種も仕掛けもないな。
Mm-hmm.
ええ、何もないわ。
よーく見ておれ。こうして握る。そして人差し指を立てる。
She stretched out her index finger and held it right in front of Anja's eyes.
人差し指の先をよーく見ておれ。
She's done this exact thing before.
早いぞ。
I don't remember when. I think it was episode 2. Maybe. I remember. It was the exact same setup. The witch rapidly lifted her index finger high into the air, pointing at the heavens. Just as Anja looked up to see the finger raised high, it swung down as though trying to dodge her gaze. In that manner... No, I think she did it earlier in the episode, never mind. In that manner, up, down, left, right, then left again. Anja, feeling as though she'd lose if she couldn't keep up with the fingertips, swung her face with this way and that, looking serious. The witch's hand moved faster and faster. Anja didn't lose track of it. Then, after the high pointing finger was swung down all of a sudden, the index finger curled up again and the hand was held in a simple fist.
よいか、手を開くぞ。
The witch slowly opened her right fist. And there was a cutely wrapped candy.
よいか。
ええ、
これは手品か魔法か。それがわらわから与える問題である。
さあ、エンジェ、答えてくれ。これは手品か魔法か。
I think she's going to say magic. I know what the answer is. She showed that her left hand was empty. She made a fist and waved her hand around. When she opened her right fist, there was a candy there. Well now, was this magic or a trick? You're asking me? You're asking me? The fact that there is a left hand and a right hand mix up there. No, I don't think it's trick. Guys, listen. Even if the dimension of left hand and right fist being mentioned there almost makes me a bit inclined to go towards trick. I get the feeling this is a trap. Because, okay, looking into this in a meta perspective, the fact that we've spent this entire episode and all of Umineko giving so much importance to magic and the meaning of magic, to just say trick now, I feel like that goes a bit against of the narrative of Umineko a bit. I don't... Plus, thinking in Anji's shoes, I don't think she's gonna say trick now, because she just became a witch of resurrection, went against all odds, if she were to say, suddenly turn around and say trick, I feel like that's like going back to square one. She's grown so much, and I think she's grown enough love in her heart to believe that this is magic. And I think Ryukishi intentionally wrote that there are two different hands in here so that you could be like, oh, the right hand was mentioned, so she could have gotten the candy just out with her right hand, right? Ho, 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 while she waved her left index finger around. I feel like, Ryukishi, I know you, okay? I know you're messing with me, so fuck you, we're picking magic.
答えが魔法ならそっち。手品ならそっちの扉を開けるんだ。
I had already decided upon my answer.
これが私の答えよ。
I walked over to the door that represented the answer I had chosen. Then I put the golden key into the keyhole and turned to face everyone.
後ろ宮のわしは振り返るな。
そうね。ごめん。
I gripped the key tightly and twisted. Then the key and the door flashed brilliantly and slowly faded away. Beyond the door was a strangely colored space. If I stepped into this, I'll reach the future I chose. Before taking that single step, I spoke without turning back.
後ろ宮のわしは振り返らない。
Oh, the way that they're using the sprite of her turning, like, not facing towards us.
だ
Damn.
から振り返らないけれど、みんなありがとう。でもさよならじゃない。私はいつまでもみんなと一緒。
Aww.
ああ、お前は振り返らない。だけど俺たちはいつだってお前のすぐ。
そんなのじゃない。私それでも信じてるから、絶対にみんなが帰ってきて全員揃うって信じてるから。
Yes, she went back to her very first. Guys, Umineko is killing me.
エンジ。
それでよい。
I wonder if the dialogue is the same if you pick trick.
エンジ、再びそなたのもとに我ら一同が揃う日が来るのを楽しみにしておるぞ。
エンジよ、我が可愛い孫よ。
Also, just to say, another reason why I felt like picking magic was for me personally at least was the correct choice. Was thus far trick came with this undercurrent of hate, I would say, with an undercurrent of hate, anger, resentment towards Beato and anything that's good, right? Remember how earlier in this episode Anje was yelling that everything is a trick. It's to the Batter is showing everything that's good to her, even if it could not, if it could potentially not be true, or if it is, in this case, yes, that he's trying to trick her. So trick always comes with this negative connotation for me, which is why even if the wording might make you want to pick trick, and deliberately pick something that could be interpreted as such, was to kind of was a trick in itself, trying to mislead you, if you will. But I feel like this question represents a lot more of what you interpreted while reading Umineko. So while I don't know if there's a difference if you pick the other choice, I still felt like thematically magic was the correct answer. It's basically for me as a way of Anje having finally learned to see with love, but this time for real.
しばしの別れだ。ほれ、これを忘れるでないぞ。 あのクイズパーティーの景品であるぞ。
No! Stop! A golden butterfly flew over my shoulder and landed on my palm and turned into a bat to her doll! Stop! That's a personal attack!
これって景品だったのね。
未来へ持ち帰って大切にしろい。
ありがとう、みんな。
I took a step forward into the future. I won't say goodbye, so see you later. We'll always be together. Oh my god, Girl's not okay. I'm not okay. The wind brushed against my cheek. I slowly opened my shut eyes. Oh? I must have had my eyes closed for a very long time. Even the sparkles below me seemed blindingly bright. It was a strange world, with a sea of stars beneath me. The wind was cold, however it told me that I had returned to reality. I was standing with one foot outstretched over that starry sea. How long have I been here? Time had probably been stopped for me ever since Byrne lured me forward when I was about to take that step off the edge. I slowly pulled my foot back in. Then I leaned against the fence and sat down. The sky was far away, but so was the ground. This whole time I've been in this sad place, so far from both of those worlds. I can't go to the sky. In that case, I have to return to my world.
そしてそれはエレベーターがいいわね。
Yes.
スカイダイブはもうたくさん。
Yes.
さすがにもうないわよね。ここから飛び降りて無事なんて奇跡は。
It has happened though. Girl, it has happened. Episode 4, a banner was stretched out and you slid and somehow survived. Some Witch of Miracles has already guaranteed with certainty that such a miracle won't occur after all. Then, I finally noticed them. It was the cards President Okunogi had assigned to me. They were approaching the fence with forced smiles and sweat dripping down their faces, trying not to startle me. That's right. I gave these guys the slip before jumping off, didn't I?
飛び降りると思った？
それはもう
ごめんね。私が飛び降りたらあんたたち大目玉もらっちゃうものね。
Look at her smile. Genuinely, she looks, even from her voice acting, she sounds so at peace.
エンジェさん、そこは危険です。とにかくこちらへお戻りください。
Yes, girl, please don't jump. No more skydiving.
もうちょ
Enough.
っとだけいさせて。大丈夫よ。変な気はもう起こさないから。あなたたち、携帯は持ってる？
あります。
おこのぎさんと話したいことがあるの。電話してもらってもいい？
The guards looked at each other, then rushed to take out their cell phones. They were worried that I might get annoyed and jump off, leaving them to take the blame.
社長が出ました。どうぞ。
ありがとう。もしもし、おこのぎさん？ええ。急にごめんなさい。いいえ、素敵な話よ。ちょっと早いクリスマスプレゼント。後ろ宮グループを全部あなたにあげるわ。
What?
その代わり、お願いがいくつかあるの。
As she gazed down at the sea of stars spread out the ground below her, Anji spoke. She spoke of how she would live from now on. Ushiromiya Anji's strange and mysterious adventure ends here. But my life will continue. After all, there's already something for me to do. I'm Anji Beatrice, Witch of Mariage Sorcière.
後ろ宮エンジェはさっきここから落ちて死んだわ。ここにいる私は魔女のエンジェ。生きるわ、魔女として。
Oh, as the Witch of Resurrection. As the one who let go of her past. It's cute how she says it. In a way, you could interpret this as something somber, but I think it's bittersweet. It's very bittersweet. Anji Ushiromiya, who had the hope. She still has hope, right? But still.
これにてそなたのゲームは終了だ。
As Anji opened the door and vanished from sight, the residents of the Golden Land disappeared as well. No! Come back! Come back! No! 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 I'll miss you. Afterwards, only matter could still be seen. Oh. He had now done everything he could for Anji.
扉を閉めよ。確かその扉を閉めるには作法があったな。
そうよ。二人じゃなきゃ閉められないというルールよ。
よー、エヴァおばさん。
だからおばさんって呼ばないで。
Yeah, don't call her an old lady. She's less than 30. The two of them stood to the left and right door. Sorry. The two of them stood to the left and right the door that Anji had vanished through.
エンジェ、あなたの未来に幸あれ。
No.
俺たちは必ず一緒になれるからな。
I love that it's Eva Beatriz who closes the door, who so far had been the symbol of hatred and basically the symbol that represented her thought that Eva killed everyone, the abuse, the malice, everything, and is now basically stands here as her protector. Then the two of them held their hands out in front of them. As they did, a door popped into existence and closed. Then the door itself faded away.
これで私たちの役目も終わりね。
ああ、これで駒の役目を終了だ。
ご苦労であった二人とも。それではこれにてそなたらのゲーム版を片付ける。
She will close the book and put it in her bookshelf. Oh, slowly the world melted. At a glance, it looked as though the city of books was starting to fall apart. But that wasn't it. Battle and Eva's world was being cut off from the city of books. The world broke apart bit by bit, and the ceiling would probably fall in soon.
お別れね、バトラ君。
ああ、またな。エンジを頼むぜ、エヴァおばさん。
Oh.
最後くらいエヴァお姉さんって言ってみなさいよ。
Nope. You won't. Oh, Erika's still here.
またな、エリカ。いつかどこかで。
私もエンジェも同じ真実の魔女でした。なのに私と彼女の何が違ったのでしょう。
なんだろうな。
I wonder.
私は真実に耐える魔女でした。でもその真実に背を向けました。しかし彼女は真実を知った上でなおも彼女の真実を信じる魔女でした。もし彼女の方が真実の魔女にふさわしいなら私は何の魔女だったのかわかりません。
そうだな。お前は魔女じゃない。
You're a detective.
だってお前は探偵だろ。
That's exactly what I just said. It's so sweet though.
ぐっと忘れてました。
またいつかどこかでな。事件あるとこ探偵ありなんだろ。
ええ、後ろ宮家に再び事件があるとき必ず現れることを約束しましょう。
That's so actually very sweet. But please don't decapitate people anymore. Please. And no more NTR. Yes? Thank you. That's the condition I asked for.
あばよ、名探偵。
さようなら、我が好敵手。あなたと再び刃を交えられる日を楽しみにしています。
She even acknowledged him as his rival, as her rival, sorry. Those were the final words the two ever spoke to each other. Oh. Oh, and they still clash their blades even once. That's so... Oh, I love that. In spite of everything that happened in episode 8, they still look at each other as rivals. Terrible roar and a cloud of dust blew by, covering everything. And then everything vanished. Nothing remained. Battler and Eva were both gone. The city of books was wrapped in silence. But I don't want it to be over! But I have to accept it! Yes. I thought, honestly, I thought Bernkastel was gonna erase Erika, or she was going to die again in some way or another. Now, she was actually treated with so much respect and is allowed to now be Bernkastel's caretaker, more or less. Ryukishi just kind of blowing my mind here. And I'm impressed. I'm impressed at the way her character developed. I'm coming out of this like... I probably still don't like episode 6 Erika because she was super vile, but it was an understandable vileness, okay? She was fighting for her survival, but now, as her final scene, honestly, I have a different kind of opinion on Erika now. I don't hate her anymore. I don't dislike her anymore. When Hachijo made her announcement, everyone fell silent, thinking they had misheard her. Before too long, though, the crowd exploded with a shower of questions about what she meant by this. Yes, she can. She can't change her mind, let her be.
繰り返します。気が変わりました。後ろ宮エヴァの日記は非公開とさせていただきます。
I will also say I deeply respect this choice. I know I said I respect this and that, this particular stream so often, but I don't know how, in what other words I can say it, because I just genuinely am touched by her choice to not make Eva's diary public, because look at how everyone in this story in the future has been parading around Rokenjima's incident as if it was their plaything. Eva's diary probably includes so much of her life, of her private life, and other Ushinomiya's. Like, a diary is deeply personal in a way, you know? So keeping it private is very touching. Away from the eyes of people who would only exploit it.
詐欺だ！そんなの詐欺だ！それは本当に後ろ宮エヴァの日記なんですか？あんたの捏造じゃないんですか？こんなふざけたことが許されるのか？
Yes, she can.
その本を公開しろ！
No.
醜きかな人の子よ。そなたらにも、そしてこの私にも。この中身を見る資格などありはしない。
Yes, that's why it has a lock.
しかし思えば、これもなかなか愉快な催しであった。死者の眠りを暴き、好き勝手に噂を吹聴する人のこの面白き一面を見ることができた。行くぞ、ベル。今宵の魚にはこれで十分であろう。
I love this for her. A black cat jumped onto Hachijo's shoulder, and she disappeared off to the side of the stage, the book of single truth in her arms. Only the angry yells of the massive crowd remained. If anyone else is to read this book, the only ones who have the right to are Anje, And if it's Battler who is still alive, then him too, if he chooses to read it. And so the people began to lose interest in Ushiromiya's Eva's diary, doubting whether it had even truly existed. Though the weekly magazines were in an uproar over the scam Hashijo Toya had pulled, some began to openly wonder if the Rokenjima mystery itself was an indiscreet desecration of the dead. It is! It is! Plainly it is! I don't think a little thing like this will allow Rokenjima to rest in peace. However, it did create an atmosphere where people were slightly more hesitant to openly show interest in the Rokenjima mystery. An unopened cat box is eternal. Rokenjima will probably never find peace. However, even so, compared to how it was before, life surely will be easier. Because as the years pass, the dust will slowly pile up on it, where it lies in the depths of oblivion. At the bottom of the deep sea, known as the depths of oblivion, the cat box of the witches will probably get slowly buried as the years pass. Featherine threw a single golden rose into that sea, an offering to let the cat box rest in peace. With the tale of that golden rose, let us mark the end of this long story. I'm trying my best. In the darkness there was a massive roar and an earthquake. When it passed, dawn began to rise over the endless night. Oh my goodness, Jesus Christ, guys. October 6, 1986. The third day? The third day? Have we... Stop everything! What the hell? What? Have we ever seen a third day?
覚えてはおらぬのか？
初めての場所だぜ。
わらわとそなたが2代前の前世で初めて出会った場所であるぞ。
Kinsen Beach, huh?
そういう風に言われるとロマンチックだな。
God, look at them. Battler and Beato could be seen in the ruins of Rokenjima's underground submarine base. The cave's mouth opened to the sea, and the gentle sound of the waves drifted in along with cries of the seagulls. It seemed that the typhoon, which had closed off the island for 2 days, had finally gotten bored and gone away. No, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me, is this... There was a third day all along. Beato went down to the shore and lifted up a large sheet. Beneath it was a motorboat. Of course, it wasn't from the time of the war. It was modern.
これを船に詰め。重いぞ。
わお、黄金のインゴットじゃねえかよ。全部埋もれちまったと思ってたぜ。
こんなこともあろうかと思ってな。一つくすねておいたのだ。
Oh, girl, Queen. But didn't she get shot? In that one vision? Maybe that wasn't exactly what happened. A single heavy gold ingot was dropped into the boat. I'm not sure how much this is worth by itself, but it must be quite a lot.
そなたはモーターボートの経験は？
あるわけないぜ。
簡単だ。教えてやる。
She knows. She wasn't used to this, but after several mistakes, Beato finally got the engine started.
そこを出て、島伝いにぐるりと回れば、そのうち新島が見える。あとは砂浜にでも乗り上げればよい。
お前は来ないのか？
わらわは行けぬ。わらわは黄金鏡の主よ。ここを出ては行けぬ。
残って何になる？
行って何になる？
生きよ
う。生きれぬ。わらわはもう数えきれぬほどの世界で数えきれぬほどの罪を犯した。わらわが殺した命の数は罪の数は多すぎる。
俺たちの世界では何の罪も犯しちゃいないさ。
いや、
そんなことはないぞ。行け。わらわの機嫌が良いうちにな。さもなくば再び島を嵐に閉ざしてしまうぞ。
Battler suddenly spun around. When Beato turned around to see what was going on, her body was suddenly lifted into the air.
なら、黄金鏡からの手土産に、お前を持ち帰ることにするぜ。
Ah, he's doing a Kenzo! He's kidnapping her!
話さぬか。危ないというのに。
ギャーギャー騒ぐな。よく聞け、ベアトリーチェ。
なんだ。
お前をさらう。
Yeah, he's doing a Kenzo! Let's go! As Beato quietly gazed at her with serious eyes, Beato was lost for words.
お前に罪があるなら、それを犯させた俺にも罪がある。だから、お前の十字架は、俺たち二人で背負おう。
Beato did say that the murders happened because of him, right? Because of his forgotten promise?
生涯、お前の十字架を支えるから。デヨ、黄金鏡、俺と二人で。
Wait. Beato was now too shocked to say anything at all. Then tears poured from her eyes and she covered her face. Beato gently set her down on the boat. He undid the mooring ropes. Now there was no longer anything tying this boat to the island. Controlling the boat as Beato had taught him, Beato slowly guided it out. When they passed out of the dimly lit cavern, they were immediately struck by the brighter rays of the sun and surrounded by a crowd of white seagulls. As the seagulls flew this way and that, the feathers they dropped in the water seemed to celebrate the boat's departure. The brilliant sunlight told them that they were now free of the island's curse. The sky, now freed from the seal of the typhoon, seemed too bright to be real. Feeling hot, Beato took off his jacket. It was swept away by the wind and danced through the sky. However, instead of panicking, Beato just smiled as he watched it go. Beato also watched it go. Now, she watched the island go. Rokkenjima and the golden land she had spent 1,000 years in. Look at them!
Look
at them!
便利なものがいろいろあるさ。ロッケン島にはないものが何でもある。お前に世界を見せてやるぜ。
Beato repeated the same words again. Beato knew what she meant. However, no matter what answer he gave, he wouldn't be able to resolve her problem now. However, there was a way to resolve it. Time and the heart. Little by little, bit by bit. Like a chain being cut by falling drops of water, he would have to sever the curse of the island gradually, over a long period of time. It might take a long, long time. However, someday she will be free. That's what I believe.
わらわはあの島で幾百の死をもてあそんだ。そのわらわにそなたの世界は眩しすぎる。
いや、生きろ。
I answered immediately and
も
forcefully.
しお前が幾百の罪を償おうと思うなら、生きて生き抜け。生の限りを尽くして精一杯を生きろ。それだけがお前の罪を償う方法だ。
それだけがわらわの罪を償う方法なのか。
そうだ。そして絶対に償いきれる。俺を信じろ。
バトラ
Look at them.
潤んだ目で見るなよ。照れるだろ。
I'm embarrassed. Help. I'm dying.
これはすまぬ。ならばその目を閉じてはくれぬか。
目を閉じろってなんだよ。お前顔近いよ。
Yes, they're gonna kiss. They're gonna kiss.
そこめ黄金鏡より魔女を連れ出した呪いを受けるがいい。だから目を閉じろというのにわらわもその恥ずかしい。
Look at her, she's blushing. As soon as Beato shut his eyes, soft lips covered. They kissed! Then they slowly drew back. He tried to open his eyes but just got slapped.
Oh,
they kissed finally.
いいじゃねえかよ。減るもんじゃねえだろ。
デリカシーのないやつめ。開けるな。まだ開けるな。なんでかって？もう一度キスがしたいからだ。
Yes, kiss, kiss. The next kiss was on his ear. Ah!
バーがよせって。それはさすがに恥ずかしい。
He knew he'd get hit again if he opened his eyes, so he resisted with his eyes still shut. Then, after sighing and tickling his ear, Beato spoke in her usual cheerful, bullying voice.
悪いな、バトラー。わらわは極悪非道の最悪魔女だぜ。
ああ、知ってるぜ。お前は最悪の残酷魔女だ
な。だから、罪など償わぬぞ。わらわは幾百の死をゲラゲラと笑い転げる。そういう魔女である。
こいつね。でもその方がお前らしいぜ。
He accidentally opened his eyes. And when he did, the witch was nowhere to be seen. No! The golden witch had vanished, like a dream or an illusion. No, 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 no! And so had the single ingot they had carried with... No! Stop, 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 stop. What happened? Battler jumped straight into the ocean, and so he made it in time. He made it in time to see the witch again. The witch looked up at Battler, a faint smile on her face. He couldn't hear any words, and yet— Stop! Didn't I tell you, Battler? Battler desperately spoke back, however his words only floated out of his mouth as bubbles. As she sank into the inky darkness, Battler chased her. Stop! It's too fast! And then his hand reached her! No! No! No!
だがわらわは幻想の住人。そしてそなたは人間。帰るべき世界が違うのだ。わらわは幻想へ帰る。そしてそなたも自分の世界へ帰るがいい。
All around them it was getting darker and darker, and then stop! The text is going too fast. At once, Battler rose towards the world of light. The witch sank. Can the text please slow down? Oh my god. When she saw Battler's body become a speck and disappear towards the world of light. Oh my god. No! No! Stop, I can't do this!
お前は俺だけの黄金の魔女だ。お前が望む奈落になら俺も一緒に落ちよう。そこが虚無の世界ならばお前と一緒に消えよう。だが消える最後の瞬間までお前は俺のものだ。
Fate didn't try to tear them apart again, and so the two became one and sank into the abyss together.
そして何も見えない真っ暗な世界でぽっと輝きました。それは温かい黄金の輝き。それは黄金のバラでした。
それがふわりと純白の無垢な砂が敷き詰められた世界にたどり着きます。そこには白い砂に半分埋まった小さな箱。
それは静かな海の底で安らかに眠るベアトリーチェの猫が。その上にふわりと黄金のバラは舞い降りるのでした。
それは深い深い海の底のお話。真っ暗な真っ暗な暗闇の中にほのかに輝く黄金のバラが眠っているというとてもささやかな物語。
Oh my god! Oh my god! This was... I don't have the words, guys. I don't have the words. 1990. This was the end! I don't know if I have tears to cry on anymore. A black luxury car was parked at the rear entrance of the skyscraper. Men wearing suits were packing a heavy-looking attaché case into its trunk.
あとは万事任せてくれ。面倒事は全部こっちで引き受ける。
よろしくね。エヴァおばさんが一番信頼していたあなたに任せられて、おばさんもきっと喜んでると思うわ。
She gave basically the Ushiromiya business and all the money to him, huh? Out of the building came Anje and President Okonogi. Anje's expression was peaceful. It was hard to imagine that this was the same person who had always looked so dark in Okonogi's eyes.
晩年の会長は少々病んでいた。エンジちゃんに相当きつい言葉もかけたろうが、あれは本意じゃなかったはずなんだ。
わかるわ。私だって虫の居所の悪い日には言わなくていいことまで言っちゃうもの。
変わったな。
そう？
俺はエンジェちゃんは生涯会長を許さないって思ってたぜ。
教えてくれたでしょ、おこのぎさんが。
俺が？なんか言ったっけ？
Yeah, you did. You actually did.
愛がなければ真実は見えないって。
Yes, he did say this in episode 4.
そんなキザなこと言ったっけ？
Yes. Yes. This Okonogi is actually a good guy. Fuck Higurashi Okonogi though.
旅をしたわ。おこのぎさんのあの日の言葉を理解するためだけに本当に長い旅をしたわ。
Of course, Okonogi understood. He understood that in her heart, this had been a long and profound journey.
新居と口座を決めたら連絡してくれ。何も不自由はさせねえからな。
スマデラ家は問題ない？
全部任せてくれ。
Yes.
こっちにはエンジェちゃんの委任状って錦の御旗がある。おかげで後ろ宮グループは一枚岩だ。エンジェちゃんのおかげで会長の作った会社が守られた。会長もエンジェちゃんの決断を喜んでるはずだぜ。
面倒くさいことを全部押し付けたかっただけよ。
Sorta, but she deserves that peace. When the great president Ushiromiya Eva passed away, the Ushiromiya group was shaken. There was no clear successor, so the group had been in danger of splitting. After that, everyone had been waiting to hear what Anje would say, since she had inherited a large portion of the group's stock. However, Anje had shown no interest in any of this, and had gone around talking about things like selling all their assets and donating everything to some charity, which had shaken the group even further. There had even been a chance that an outsider such as the Usumadera family would interfere and destroy the Ushiromiya group. As disturbing as it may seem, some had wished for the source of all this trouble, Anje, to disappear. They did try to kill her. However, Anje had undergone a change of heart, deciding to do what was best for the Ushiromiya group that Eva had built up, and the worst-case scenario had been avoided. Okonogi had been named as Anje's legal guardian. By simply giving him her trust, Anje now had in him the most reliable ally possible. Okonogi himself had certain plans he could carry out based on the knowledge that Anje trusted him. Okonogi, who had carried great responsibility in the Ushiromiya group thanks to his position as Eva's closest confidant, was the most natural choice to be Eva's successor for the top spot. And thanks in part to his ability, everything had now been wrapped up smoothly. This way, the Ushiromiya group was secure. The Ushiromiya group had been the only thing still tied to the Ushiromiya name other than Anje herself, so she might have thought of it as her final link to her family.
いつでも帰ってきていいんだぜ。エンジェちゃんの椅子は用意してあるんだからな。
ありがとう。帰る場所があるってだけで安心して旅立てるわ。
これからは何をして過ごすんだ？
作家になるわ。
作家？小説の？
何でもいいの。小説でも絵本でも、私に絵心があるなら漫画でも、とにかく何でもいいの。
Don't do manga, but do picture books.
誰かに心を伝えられるなら。
Yes.
そりゃ高尚な仕事だな。
Although she could do manga of herself and Babon.
成功することを祈ってるぜ。
Yes, please.
ありがとう。
Please post on your social media all the drawings of yourself and
もし
Mammon.
本が出せたら送るわ。
楽しみにしてるぜ。
The car's trunk was closed with a clunk. Apparently all of her luggage had been loaded.
そうだ、運転手を紹介しておこう。
Amakusa.
俺の子飼いの男だ。信用できるし、何でも頼れるぞ。
Mhm.
会長のところで長年護衛をしていたから、エンジェちゃんも面識があるかもな。
Makusa?
天草だけはごめんよ。
It's Amakusa, girl. Sorry. I'm calling it now. It's Amakusa. It is. The man walking out of the driver's seat sneezed.
そりゃねえですぜ、お嬢。
Sorry, look. He puts Enzaki on, okay? You can listen to saxophone together.
おめえ何やらかしたんだ？
おばさんの護衛の中で一番軽薄そうだったからね。こいつだけはごめんよって思ったの。
でも一番仲良くしてたろ？
まあおしゃべりだけは面白かったかも。
ボスからエンジェさんとの連絡役を仰せつかりました。何か面倒事がありましたらいつでもご連絡を。
トイレットペーパー買ってきてとか言ってもいいの？
ついでに生理用品も買ってきますぜ。
How do you know she wants tampons? Oh god, Amakusa confirmed to be the guy who is in the supermarket and is like, girl, what coochie size you got?
最悪の男でしょ。
Okonogi guffawed. I hate this word, I can't pronounce it. Guffawed? I got into the back seat.
じゃあ、エンジェちゃん。
その名で呼ばれるのもこれで最後ね。
新しい名前が決まったら教えてくれ。
Okonogi patted the roof of the car. At that signal, Amakusa honked the horn and removed the handbrake.
新しい名前が決まるまではお嬢でいいですかい？
当面はそれでいいわ。
さて、どこへ行きますかい？北へ？南へ？
おすすめはある？
本州を出るのはどうですかい？北海道なんておすすめですぜ。広い草原、でっかい雲、ログハウスで執筆する小説家なんて最高ですぜ。
じゃあ南にするわ。あんたが言ったのと逆の方にするって決めてた。
She's so slick. I love her.
そりゃひでえや。
She's so slick.
暖かい地方がいい。
I forgot to untoggle my tears, but to be fair, I'm still snotty.
海が見える街がいいわ。
Anji closed her eyes. Things had been pretty crazy lately. She was tired.
了解です。お嬢が次に目を覚ます時にはもう見知らぬ異境ですぜ。ですがそこは海の見える暖か
期待してるわ。
She's going to Okinawa. She's gonna meet Kiryu Kazuma.
あんたのチョイス。
Oh wait, it's 98, so he's not in Okinawa yet. The car got onto the freeway. It was surrounded by the great river of cars heading east and west. By now, no one could tell which of those points was the car she rode in. And we're in the sky. Starting today, Ushiromiya Anje would change her name and live in a new climate. Changing her name didn't mean she had given up on being Anje. This was Anje's... No, Anje Beatrice's mission.
エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ、黄金と無限と反言の魔女、マリアージュ・ソルシエールの魔女、1998年の未来に生き残る最後の魔女。
Oh, she's gonna start writing books. I'm so happy for her. What a fantastic end. Oh my god, guys. Oh. Right, we still have tea party. Okay, before we get to the tea party, I really need to go to the bathroom. So, hold on, guys. I'm gonna switch to the ad break screen real quick and I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Okay, I'm back. Back from ad break. So we still have the tea party. I forgot that. Do we have both tea parties? Let's see. Episode 8 tea party. What's our after credits? Oh, we're back to the City of Books. What we doing? The majestic witch of theater-going drama and spectating set down her pen, looked at the ceiling and sighed deeply. The desk was covered with a scattered mountain of paper covered with writing. Words were packed onto the pages in a thin, high information density language that only the great ones could read. Each letter of this language carried the same amount of information as several books in the human world. These letters filled every inch of this huge pile of paper. Surely she had written out every little detail of some world.
書き切ったには書き切った。いや、正確には書き切っておらぬのだが。
She stood up, sat down in her favorite rocking chair, and rocked peacefully for a while.
どこまでを書けば、果たして物語を書き切ったと言えるのか。私の物書きとしての長年の悩みだ。人間の冒険は、物語としてとても面白い。しかしどこまでが冒険で、どこからがそうではないのかが、私をしても未だによくわからぬのだ。
I would say when the goal is met, when the purpose is complete.
すでに没した私の旧友は、人間の人生は初めから終わりまでが全て冒険であり、筆を置くところなど存在しないと言ったが、私はそうは思わぬ。筆の置きどころというものがあると思う。物語は適当なところまでを記し、その後の余韻や感想は観劇者に委ねるべきだと思う。つまり物語は適当なところで猫箱にしまうべきなのだ。
So wait to see it.
猫箱をめぐっての長き物語なのだから、その終焉も最後までを記さず、猫箱にしまってしまうのが良いのではあるまいか。
Basically, don't write the story down to its absolute end, or milk it to the point you can't really do anything with it anymore. Featherine spoke to no one inside the empty study. Of course, no one commented on her words. However, Featherine seemed to hear something. She nodded and grinned contently.
わかっている。もう少しだけを書き足し、そこで筆を置こう。それで、そなたとはお別れだ。
Featherine held up a finger and spun it around, a signal that she wanted to darken the room. The lights in the study dimmed.
ほんの少しだけ休ませてはくれぬか。その間は我が猫、もとい、我が巫女にお相手をさせよう。
Woo! Girl! Lavender, hi!
下手くそ、もっと上手に縫って。
うっさいわね。手縫いが嫌ならダダダダって。
ミシンは嫌よ。手縫いがいい。だからせめてもうちょっと優しく。痛い痛い。
What are you doing?
つばつけときゃ治るわよ。
Oh no, girl, are you sewing your girlfriend back together?
予告なく舐めないで。
Oh my god, girl. Oh, guys, we are intruding on a moment. We need to leave.
今から畳針でぶっすり縫うわよ。マジで痛いから覚悟して。5、4、 さん、みん。そういう予告は嫌。ベル、やめて
Look at them, they're cute. I love them. But despite all this, the two of them truly were close. They're girlfriends! Though Ramba Delta had been brutally dismembered in the final fight, she had survived. But unfortunately, she was still dismembered. So Birkenstock was seeing her arms and head back on with a needle and thread. The left arm, which was still waiting to be reattached, walked around on the bed impatiently with its index and middle fingers. Only the arms were left to do, so it looked like this would be a finish soon. Then Erika returned, slamming the door open. Erika! Stop, she's having a private moment with her girlfriend. Sesame salt?
ごま塩って何？まさか紅茶に入れる気？
エリカのおもちゃよ。エリカ、お箸は持ってきた？
What the heck?
はい、我が主。名探偵に虫眼鏡。フルダエリカにお箸です。
じゃあいい？そのごま塩の中身をザラッと出して、お箸でごまと塩に分けなさい。
はい、
我が主。
Girl.
私の華麗なるお箸さばきをどうかご覧ください。
頑張ってね。
Okay, I was hoping they were gonna have more of a caretaker relationship.
ちゃんと袋に戻しておくのよ。
あんた、またそういうことしていじめてんの？
Yeah, my question exactly.
遊んでるのよ。失礼ね。そうそう。エリカ、さっき郵便配達が来て、あんた宛ての手紙を置いていったわ。
She's from the door.
手紙？事件の予感がします。言わないで。私が差出人を当てます。
Your girlfriend.
展開ね。ドラノールあたりじゃない？あんたたち、まだ親交があったのね。
They didn't break up. They stayed together. Thank God.
死因があるだけで、ベルンカステルにはこの程度の推理が可能です。
ピピピー、ダメです我が主。バンダイン第9作探偵が複数あることを禁ず。
じゃあ、あんたが出てけばいいわけだわ。またね、名探偵エリカ。
Okay, actually, they are on a somewhat of an even playing field.
そんな、我が主。真実の魔女エリカ、ここに。
Well, you gotta go.
あんたらって仲いいのか悪いのか未だによくわかんないわ。
Her head.
悪いに決まってるでしょ。
The fact that they have a separate image for her head, I can't.
私が愛してるのはあんただけよ。
そんな、我が主。ラムダデルタ卿、やはり私とあなたは相入れないようですね。
Sorry, girl, that's her girlfriend.
何よあんた。
You have your own.
この大ラムダデルタを相手に勝負する気
？Erika grinned and grabbed Rampa Delta's left arm, which had been walking around the bed.
ここにラムダデルタ卿の腕があります。そしてここは断面です。
Don't put her in the salt. Erika grinned and wiggled her fingers menacingly.
まさかあんた。
私のライバルにはこんなことができます。
Don't do it, girl! Oh, she's tickling her. Never mind. She tickled the inside of Ramba Delta's left arm. Apparently, she was extremely ticklish there. Incidentally, the open end of Ramba Delta's arm had cute, fluffy white cotton candy poking out. Apparently, her body was made of sweet candy with a bit of spice thrown in. That's everybody's dream. I wanna be her. I wanna be like that. Put your mind at ease, as there is nothing remotely terrifying about this scene. Are you sure about that? Erika ran around screaming, "I've defeated Lady Ramba Delta all by myself, just like my master." Ramba Delta growled and hissed at her. Oh, she also Has cat mannerisms. Bernkan still kept on sewing and exasperated look on her face. It was a very peaceful scene.
それで手紙にはなんて？
ドラノールたちの近況でも書いてあんの？
ガートルードさんは異端審問官に昇進したとか。
Or
そりゃ
something.
おめでとうございますパチパチ。
Erika, please.
最近猫に続いてワニャンを飼い始めたとか。
Meowwoof?
ワニャンって何？
A cat dog?
ベルン知らないの？遅れてる。最近ブームじゃない。最近私もメスのワニャンを飼い出したのよ。コンペイトーも美味しく作れて最高よ。
よくわかんないけど、今度からあんたの手作り菓子を食べるのは遠慮するようにするわ。
Don't make food with cats or wanyans,
コーネ
please.
リアさんは
Please.
へえ、審問官選考に格闘技団員が有利として最近は格闘技を始めたとか。
Love that for her.
想像がつきませんね。
Love that for her, though.
格闘技ったっていろいろあるわよ。何始めたの？
キックボクシングに中国拳法だとか。
Girl, go
エ
off.
ボの影響ですかね。
片
Probably.
足で立って戦いそうなイメージない？
そうよね。誰かさんが片足立ちをずいぶん鍛えたもんね。
ウィルさんの近況も書いてありますよ。
Oh, this background is new. We never saw it.
意外。ウィルさん FX で一山当てたらしくて、それで不動産買って今は不動産収入で悠々自適だとか。
Good for him.
最近
Yes!
はバドミントンやってるんですって。
Yes! They stayed together. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that him and Rion are together.
きっとお尻が腫れ上がってるわよ。
で、ドラノールは？
相変わらずハンコと決裁員と認め員とたまにサインの日々だそうで。
And then she runs
自
and
分が
cuts.
直々に出動するから自分の管区でぜひ事件を起こしてほしいですって書いてあります。
Ah.
起こしてやったら事件。
探偵が行くとこ事件ありって言うもんね。
まあそのうち気が向いたらいじめに行ってあげてもいいかもです。あとシエスタ姉妹兵たちのことも書いてあります。
What are they doing?
待って、一度に聞きたくないわ。少しはもったいぶらなきゃ。さ、できた。やっ
と右腕が生えたわ。
But what about your head?
次、左腕をお願いね。
その前にお茶にしましょう。エリカ、紅茶の缶と梅干しの壺を用意してちょうだい。はい、
我が主。
With this particular journey over and done with, the Voyager witches rested their wings. It was also they could leave on a new journey and search for the next fragment. A short break between trips, backdropped by the pleasant scent of black tea.
今度はどこへ行く？
あんたが北へ行くなら、私は南へ。
Oh, wait.
じゃあ、ベルンが東へ行くなら、私は西へ行くわ。
また、こんな愉快な物語を見つけられるといいわね。
今度はベルンが憎まれ役じゃないといいわね。
あら、悪役も楽しかったわよ。
次はどんな物語を見つけられるかしらね。
She enjoys being a villainess. That's oh, you know what, girl slay.
そしてどんな物語で再会できるのかしら。
愛し合う二人にかけらの海は狭いわ。
天井桟敷、
かけらの海は広大だわ。
殻の中の幽霊。
Ghost in the Shell? Let's go to Ghost in the Shell next.
いつか会えるわよ。また何かの泣く頃に。
いいじゃない。それにしましょう。いつか会えるわ。 また何かの泣く頃に。
Oh, it's the line. Fuck. Okay, so I've seen Go and like Higurashi Go and Sotsu before I finished reading Umineko, and I remember this dialogue being used at the very ending of Sotsu, which, by the way, everyone already knows my opinion of Sotsu. I thought it was not good. It's so much better here in Umineko in its actual source. I'm so mad that Sotsu tried to just take it. I mean, I guess they were trying to say Lambda Burn is also Rika and Satoko, but come on! The happy voices of the witches faded into the distance. I can't say how beautiful that little dialogue was. In the next when they cry. That's such a beautiful way to say goodbye. Bye, girls! Oh, even though you were gremlins, I loved you. Alright, the final after credits. Alright, guys. Here we go. Here we go. I think it's the final scene. I hope it's not a whole ass game board like in episode 7. After decades. It's an epilogue then. Please don't make this a whole ass chapter. I don't have that kind of time. It was the largest banquet hall in this huge hotel. As many guests that filled the room chattered and applauded the person receiving an award trophy on the top of the stage. The sign in front said award ceremony from Japan's greatest publishers. Ah, it's probably Anji.
小説部門に参りたいと思います。受賞作は皆さんもご存知。世界的な一大ムーブメントを巻き起こし、破竹の快進撃を続けるファンタジー冒険小説「作太郎の大冒険」です。
Yes! Sakutaro's Great Adventure! Hell yeah! This can only be from Anji. Look at him! Look at him! He's on the screen! The projector in front of the audience showed a brief summary of the series. It was a lengthy fantasy adventure novel that was already more than 8 installments long. It's a whole franchise! The thrilling fantasy story told the adventures of Sakutaro, a cowardly Vegeta lion who makes friends, learns through his experience, and grows in his search for the one fragment. The main character's catchphrase, "I'll become the king of the beasts," was even one of the candidates for the Buzzwords of the Year award. So cute. In addition to being a thrill to read, the books also contain many messages for children to learn from, earning it high praise as an adventure novel that parents and kids could enjoy reading together. I hope Mamon and Ange are dating in it. I hope they're married. And I hope Maria's there too. However, it hadn't received such praise from the beginning. For the first 6 volumes, it went almost entirely unnoticed. But last year, when foreign translations of the series began, it got its big break and suddenly became a huge topic of conversation. Kind of like a commentary with Umineko and Higurashi too, or literally so many stories that were indie written like... In this case, RPG Maker games is the first thing I think of. Are relatively small things, small projects, and then they explode once they're translated. With anime and manga too, it's wild as heck. And I think this is kind of like a commentary to how this happened with Higurashi as well. Because I think When They Cry might have exploded worldwide once Higurashi was made into an anime, and thus we got to see it in English subs or dubbed. I wonder if there was a fan translation for the visual novels before Manga Gamer picked up on it. I believe so, because it did take a very long time until it was translated. So I think this is a commentary on this. It's a kind of a nod, and it's very sweet. Even before the series, the author had created quite a lot of works, but none of those archived any achieved any public acclaim. Sorry about that. However, after the sudden rise in notoriety, her previous works were being reevaluated one after another. So happy for Anju. In that sense, it's probably fair to call her an author who went unrecognized for quite a long time. Kotobuki, that's her name now?
今回の作太郎魔女の島へも実に素晴らしい作品でした。
Publishing company executives repeatedly showered her with praise. Sakutaro's Great Adventure. The author's name was Kotobuki Yukari. Yukari, okay, is written hiragana. Nearly all of her royalties were sent to a fund to support needy children, and she herself had served as a director at several protective institutions. Some Evians people tried to call this fake charity, but the more the people learned about her, the more of those voices withered and died away. Kotobuki Yukari. By now that name rang loud and clear across Japan. She sat in a chair, cheerfully chatting with the people who came to greet her. So Anji really did. Basically, Anji Ushiromiya as a name is gone. I feel like that as a name is only for her. And is meant to be with her family. Last year, she was diagnosed with the initial stages of cancer, and after the surgery, her physical strength dropped sharply. No! Because of this, even the stand-up awards party, she was given a chair and sat down while greeting people. No! Some people lamented, saying that if only she had been 20, even 10 years younger, she might have left her mark in history as one of the greatest authors in the 21st century. Had taken so long for her to receive the praise she deserved. She could no longer be called young. Even so, her determination to write had not wavered in the slightest. The story had gone around that, even during her stay in the hospital, most of her time had been spent typing away. Shall we say the same thing? That she hadn't finished telling everything she needed to tell? Did she mean that she hadn't fully completed Sakutaro's Great Adventure? When that question was asked by a journalist, this is how she answered. If by writing even one more book, I can teach just one more child how to find happiness, then I will spend the rest of my life writing every book, every page that I can. Because I still haven't fully conveyed the previous teaching I was given. That's so...
この度は受賞誠におめでとうございます。映画の方も大好評と聞いております。このままいけば今年度最高の記録的ベストセラーになるとか。
Harry the Potato! It was the name of a fantasy series that had become a worldwide hit.
ありがとうございます。身に余る光栄です。
ああ、申し遅れました。
Oh, she sounds so nice when she's older.
私、〇〇出版第一編集局長の〇〇と申します。
My name is X with EKN. Bruh.
いつかご一緒に仕事ができるといいですね。
実は先生、その唐突なお話なのですが、推理小説家の八条東也先生をご存知でしょうか。
八条東也先生ですか？
Hold. She remembered that name from several decades ago. She hadn't expected to ever hear it again.
ひょっとしてお会いになったことがおありとか。
いいえ、ありません。お尋ねしたこともありましたが、当時は私も無名。それも唐突に出版社さんへ押しかけたものでお断りされてしまいまして。
おや、それは初耳でした。ひょっとして八条先生の作品がお好きだったりするようなことは。
Oh.
いいえ、ただどのような先生かお会いしたいと思ったことがありましたもので。
そうでしたか、そうでしたか。実はですね、その八条東也先生がですね、先生に内々にお会いしたいと申しておりまして。
Featherine and Anji are meeting.
私にですか？
はい。対談や何かというわけではなく、内々に個人もしお許しいただけるのでしたら、我々の方でセッティングをさせていただきたいのですが、もちろんこれは仕事の話ではございませんので。
I hope she accepts. Hachijo Toya wants to meet Kotobuki Yukari. Just like how I realized that Itoi Kukuro was Hachijo Toya, did she use my name to figure out my identity? The Rokenjima mystery has been called one of the greatest social phenomena at the turn of the century. That uproar, which dragged in enthusiasts from across the world, suddenly subsided after an event held by Hachiro Toya, where she was going to unveil the diary of Ushiromiya Eva, which contained the truth. Oh, is Hachiro going to hand her the diary? Though she had set up the event herself, she then outrageously disappeared without releasing the contents of the diary, drawing harsh criticism for doing so. However, a very, very obvious feeling had been revived in the public sphere, that they had been prying into a terrible accident with many victims purely out of curiosity. And so the frenzy surrounding the Rokenjima mystery had faded away quietly. Good. She did us all a solid. Hachiro Toya. No, Itoi Kukugoro. She caught the public eye as a forger of the Rokenjima mysteries. She claimed to have reached the truth and released groundbreaking works of fiction one after another. She became famous as the driving force behind the Rokenjima mystery. After realizing that Ito Ikukuro was Hachiro Toya, I went to her publishing company to ask for an interview, but I didn't get one. At the time, I despised her. Back in the beginning, I thought she might have used the Rokenjima mystery as a publicity stunt to advance herself, but now I feel a bit grateful to her. If she hadn't refused to show the diary in such an outrageous way, the Rokenjima catbox might still be the plaything of countless goats. She was indeed a forger who had toyed with the catbox, and I still had an uneasy feeling about her. However, at the same time, she was the one who, practically speaking, allowed Rokenjima to rest in peace. And did she really reach the truth? How had she reached something that seemed infinitely close to the truth even from my perspective? Even now, after all these years, that's something I've wanted to know. Also, she never got the diary.
いかがでしょうか、寿先生。もちろん、急なお話ではございません。
I feel like she's going to refuse, and that hurts me.
八条先生も、お時間がいただけるならいつでもいいとおっしゃっておりまして。
Because one question remains open. Who is the person that Toya found?
わかりました。
Who is the person that Hachiro found?
先方は都心に近い方ですか?
Also, I just realized Hachiro Toya is the person who she named. She goes by Hikuko Hachiro. I forgot.
いつでも参上できると申しております。
Which means, yeah, she did say she was going to publish things in Toya's name, I believe.
では、来週の日曜日に静かな喫茶店でお会いできるようお取り計らいをお願いしてもよろしいですか?
Yes, she's gonna meet her.
はい、わかりました。ありがとうございます。本当にありがとうございます。八条先生もお喜びになると思います。
Bring the mystery amnesiac with you, just in case. What?
はい、なんなりと。
お仕事の話ではありませんので、編集の方はご遠慮ください。
無論でございます。そのようにいたします。
私と八条先生の二人きりでお会いします。そのようにお願いできますか?
ああ、実は先生、ここだけの内密な話なのですが。
何ですか?
Oh, he's gonna mention the other person.
実はですね、八条東也先生はお二人で書かれている先生でございまして。
The miracle.
対外的には女性の先生がお一人で書かれていることになっておりますが、実際はもう一人男性の先生がおりまして。
The miracle. The miracle.
そのお二人でお会いしたいと申しておりまして。
As soon as I heard that, I felt a premonition. How had Hachiro Toya, a person with no connections to the Ushiromiya family, managed to write about it in such detail? I was already feeling a premonition of a certain kind of miracle. The hope that she felt, even after 50 years, I hope. When I left on my journey, I abandoned the name Ushiromiya Anji and stepped into a new life. By now, things have settled down, but when the Sumadera family was still a threat, I wanted to distance myself from that name. Thanks to that, no one was able to get in touch with the new me anymore. However, now that Sakutaro's adventure was called to the public eye this year and made the name of Kotobuki Yukari famous, maybe finally reached his ears. I used to play with a lion stuffed animal called Sakutaro along with Maria One-chan. If those who knew disconnected the name Sakutaro with my name, then it's only natural that they'd figure out who I was. The number of people who would be able to recognize me from that was very, very small. This person was also well versed in detective novels, and a man. I could only think of one person who matched. It's better. Yes, better! After all, I knew just how many detective novels he had piled up in his room from the time when his effects were gone through. It was almost the time we had arranged for our meeting. My heart was racing, almost like a girl in love for the first time. Please, please, please. At the very instant that the arranged time came, I heard the sound of the chime on the door, and they appeared. Ah! It was a man sitting on a wheelchair and a woman pushing him! It's him! My eyes immediately fixed on the man in the wheelchair. And right away, I saw the traces that remained on his face. There's no doubt about it. He's my brother! Yes! My brother Ushinomiya Batra! Yes! When our eyes met, he gave a little bow. I hurried to my feet and bowed back. It was a somewhat exaggerated and silly way for a pair of siblings to greet each other after several decades apart. However, my mind was already blank. The miracle I had waited for all this time was now a reality.
Kotobuki Yukari sensei de irasshaimasu ka?
Kotobuki Yukari de gozaimasu.
Oh, but does this mean the scene that we saw with Batra and Beato was him and Sayo, and the reason why he became amnesiac is because he nearly drowned? Is Sayo dead? Is there maybe a chance that she survived? I hope. That would be my hope, but Batra surviving is already a miracle, even if he has amnesia.
先生方が八条東也先生でいらっしゃいますか。
はじめまして先生。今日は貴重なお時間を誠にありがとうございます。私は八条育子と申します。主に執筆を担当しています。こちらは東也、主に原案を担当しています。
Though the woman who called herself Ikuko was far older than me, she seemed to be unbelievably youthful. It wasn't because she was good with makeup or dressed like a younger woman. Feels strange to say it. There was a strange mystique about her, as though she was immortal and never aging. And I quickly remembered that she had introduced my brother as Toya.
失礼ながら、お二人はご結婚を。
結婚はしておりませんが、ずいぶん長く一緒におります。
Your family.
そうですね。気づけば、ずいぶん長く一緒にいましたね。
My brother smiled as he spoke. When I learned that, at least for him, those long decades hadn't been a period of isolation and loneliness, I felt an incredible sense of peace and relief. Before I knew it, he was staring back into my face. Well, I was just 6 years old the last time we met. Must be hard for him to find any traces he can recognize. However, I'm sure he recognized something just the same. We kept stealing glances at each other and looking away, like a couple on a blind date. We were both at an age where outside appearances mattered to us. Even though we both knew, we wouldn't let our polite exterior falter. His humorous exchange was extremely embarrassing. I thought it would be a fated reunion, that we would hold each other and sob tears of gratitude together. However, reality seemed to be different. But that's fine. Seems like my heart will explode with happiness.
注文を取りましょう。
Oh.
コーヒーでいいですか？
I want.
皆さん何かお好みは？
I already cried so much.
私には酸味が強くないの。寿先生は？
ああ、私は何でも。ではカフェオレを。
How stiff we're all being. Even my brother seemed to be finding it amusing by now.
さて。
He has this little fang on his bright and skinny. When she said that, my brother and I fell silent and sat up straight.
私から？それとも東野から話しますか？
私から話しましょう。そのために今日は無理をお願いしたのですから。
As he spoke, he watched me calmly.
私は今日あなたがある人物ではないかと信じて、彼女の名は後宮エンジェ。あなたの作品と先生のお名前を聞き、私はあなたが後宮エンジェさんに違いないと。
はい、その名を名乗ることをやめ、もう随分になりますが。
Thank God.
本名を後宮エンジェと申します。
I gave the exaggerated bow that I'd gotten used to these long years. We've both aged, haven't we, Oni-chan? I whispered this in my heart. Now it was my turn. With a quick apology, I fished around in my handbag and took out a photo. It was a picture from a trip I'd taken to an amusement park with Peter and Oni-chan. I had many other pictures of us having a good time, but this one is the best shot of his face. I looked between him and the photo. There was no longer any room for doubt.
Toya sensei, あなたの本名は後宮バトラーさんですね。
If you say no, I'm going to lose my shit. Say yes. He's going to say no. No! The hands of the clock inside me stopped. I wanted him to answer with a yes. He's going to say no. No! Even though I was already so sure, I was still about to burst with the tension. And then, when that instant that seemed far too long ended, my brother answered.
そうです。
He said yes! Unconsciously, I stared at my brother's face. With unbelievable quickness, he acknowledged that he was Ushiromiya Battler. I'm going to die, guys. My eyes immediately filled and overflowed with tears. I took out a handkerchief and wiped them away, but I couldn't hold them back. Oni-chan was alive after all. So why didn't he come back to me right away? If he had been there during my darkest days, it would have meant so much to me. Normally, the thought would have made me curse my brother, but by now, even that emotion was softened. After all, now that I was faced with the miracle of being reunited with Oni-chan, everything I'd felt before fell away with my tears. At this moment, I was happy. I was never alone. I worked so hard for decades with that belief in my heart. And now I've finally been rewarded. By now, I couldn't even stop my tears, and I can stop mine! For some time, I continued to sob and sniffle. I watched this. My brother hung his head apologetically. Why didn't he come back to me sooner? It looked as though he was feeling regret for that. But I'm sure he had some sort of reason. He's probably here today to tell me about it and apologize. Already, just by him introducing himself to me today, everything inside of me has been washed clean with tears.
すみません。こんなみっともないところ。
いいえ、無理もないことです。あなたは何十年もの間、たった一人で家族の帰りを信じ
てましたよ。帰ってくるって。お兄ちゃん。
I held out my hand weakly, and my brother slowly held out his out too. God, I can't breathe anymore! Then I gripped his hand. Regardless of how many long years had passed, it was without a doubt my brother's hand. Once more I had to struggle to hold back the tears. So do I. Otherwise I can't read. Please don't pull this back. What are we doing?
兄さんはどうやってあの事故を免れたのです？
私はあの日、地下道に逃れました。
それはクアドリアンに続く？
島の反対側の隠し屋敷に続く地下道だと教えられました。しかし、私たちはクアドリアンではなく、潜水艦基地の方へ逃れたのです。
Oh? I don't know why my brother entered the underground passage on that day. At any rate, he went in the underground passage, and unlike Aunt Eva, he escaped to the submarine base. There, he escaped the explosion and survived.
そこから私はモーターボートで脱出しました。ですが、その途中で。
おそらく
と。申し訳ありません。トーヤは記憶障害があるのです。海で溺れた前後の記憶が曖昧なのです。
ひょっとしてしばらくの間、彼は自分が後宮バトラであることを。
その通りです。
He did. Yes, that explains nearly all of the riddles. My brother escaped from the explosion, but either his boat capsized during his escape from the island or he fell overboard. Afterwards, he must have drifted somewhere, wandered about half conscious, and probably got into a traffic accident.
彼はあの日、路上に倒れていました。
彼女が私に気づくのがもう少し遅れていたら、私は二度と目を覚まさなかったでしょう。
跳ねたのは私ではないかと随分疑われた気もしますが。
いや、それはもう謝りましたよ。
Oh, they really are like... I love their relationship, it's great. This explained pretty much everything. Either because of the time he nearly drowned or because of the traffic accident, my brother's memory was damaged. His memory probably came back eventually. However, by that time I already set foot into my new life as Kotobuki Yukari. Only a handful of people, including President Okonogi, knew where I was. Even if my brother wanted to contact me, there was a very good chance that he wouldn't be able to. Ironically, the name I abandoned when I decided to live in the future delayed my reunion with my brother for so long. In that sense, I'm responsible. I did it to myself. However, I'm sure I received the message my brother sent me. That message was Ito Ikukuro. I realized that Ito Ikukuro, the forger who claimed to have reached the truth, was actually Hachiro Toya. Then I requested a meeting with her through the publishing company to question her about why she was so sure she'd reached the truth. However, I wasn't granted a meeting. In the end, I heard nothing from them, and it's taken all these decades for me to meet Hachiro Toya. If the publishing company had only passed my message on, we could have been reunited so much sooner. However, at the time I was just a bourgeoisie girl who liked to throw money around. Why would they pass on my message when I just barged in with no introduction and demanded to meet the famous and popular Hachiro Toya? We probably crossed paths several times. If just one of us had worked out, or one of those had worked out, if we had been able to meet, just how much would my life had changed? But this was fate. God had decided that a few decades were needed before the sibling reunion. And during that time, my brother became one half of a mystery novelist and became a writer of an adventure novels for children. You could say that we achieved success in society. My brother and I were reunited after becoming successful. Now, I could do nothing but thank God for bringing about this miracle.
お互いが作家として成功してから再会できたのも神様のおぼし召しでしょうね。当時の私は無名だったから取り継いでもらえなかった。そして私も兄も作家として有名になったからこうして巡り会えた。
Oh, just the thought that they could possibly never have met if one of them didn't become successful is pretty daunting, but that just makes me all the more happy that she did become famous for this to happen.
神様のおぼし召しだと思います。
当時あなたが出版社を経由して私たちに面会を求めているという話は私たちのところへも届いておりました。伊藤育九郎の正体に気づいたファンが面会を求めているがお会いになりますかと。
押しかけてくるファンもたくさんいらっしゃったでしょうからね。いちいちお会いにはなれなかったでしょう。
いいえ、あなたの名前が後宮エンジェだと担当者から連絡はありました。当時私はすでに東野の本当の名は後宮バトラであると気づいていましたので、あなたと彼を面会させるべきではないかと思ったのです。
Someone interfered, huh?
私が断ったんです。
Oh, he is the one who refused. I see. My brother said that to me.
今、なんと。
私があなたに会いたくないと断ったんです。
Oh, he didn't. Once more, my brother spoke clearly. I was completely confused. I could only sit there in shock and silence, waiting for the words that were sure to follow.
東野は記憶障害だったとはすでに申し上げたと思います。それがある日、
どうして私だと分かってて断ったんです。
I cut through Ikuko's words and questioned him directly. What reason could my brother have for rejecting me? I couldn't think of anything. That unpleasant emotion brought up long-forgotten feelings of anger inside me.
一人ぼっちの妹が孤独に押しつぶされそうになりながら生きているのを、なのにどうしてその私があなたの元へ訪れるのを拒まれたのですか？
My brother hung his head. It seemed more like he was lost for words than apologetic. There was nothing shy about his appearance, and I questioned him again in an even louder voice. When I asked for an appointment with Hachiro Toya, Ito Ikukuro was already a famous forger. Was already famous as a forger, sorry. Why did Ito Ikukuro's forgeries reach the truth? It's obvious. My brother Ushinomiya Batra explained to her what happened on the island in detail, so the appearance of Ito Ikukuro proved that my brother's memory had returned. Therefore, he can't excuse himself by saying he didn't remember me. In fact, in reality, he didn't try to make excuses. On the contrary, he's openly said that he refused to meet me, even though he knew who I was.
今となっては後悔しています。
I think he was afraid.
後悔って私の気持ちを考えたことはあるんですか？この数十年間、人生のほとんどをどんな気持ちで私が過ごしてきたか。
Various emotions swirled inside of me. I realized that I wasn't in control of them anymore. I could only moan to prevent myself from saying something I'd regret.
あなたにひどいことをしたと今は深く後悔しています。ですからあなたをあれからずっと探していました。あなたにとっても私にとってももっと早くに出会うべきでした。
ならなぜあの時会ってくれなかったんですか？
寿先生、先ほどもお話ししました通り、彼は記憶障害を持っています。事故の後遺症です。
それでも記憶は戻ったじゃありませんか。
ええ、記憶は戻りました。ただそれでも後遺症は治りませんでした。
私は後宮バトラの記憶を持っています。ですがそれが自分のことと思えない。
Yeah. It's basically Toya now sees Battler as someone else.
自分のことと思えない。
はい、確かに私は島を脱出した前後のことは今でも記憶があやふやです。しかしそれ以外のことはほとんどを思い出しました。例えばあなたが大事にしていたピンクの髪飾りは私が遊園地のゲームコーナーで取ってあげたものだとか。
ええ、そうです。私の子供の頃の宝物です。今もこうしてハンドバッグの中に大事にしまっています。
他にもいろいろ。あなたがひじきが嫌いでお母さんを困らせていたことや、それを私のお皿に移してごまかそうとしたことや。
That's so cute.
他にも。
そこまで覚えていて、どうして自分の記憶と思えないのですか？
それが私の後遺症なのです。いくつもの病院を巡りましたがどうにもなりませんでした。
So in a way, like I said, Battler in a way is dead. Like Byrne had said, he cannot say your name anymore as Battler. It's Toya now.
あなたにはわからないでしょう。ある日、突然知らない男の記憶が頭いっぱいに溢れ出すのがどれほど辛いことか。
He was terrified that he wasn't himself anymore. His mind was filled with the memories of a man he didn't recognize, and they threatened to crush and overwhelm him. They must have been his own lost memories. However, his brain couldn't accept those as his own.
辛く恐ろしい日々でした。自分が知らぬ人間に頭の中を侵食されていくかのような。今日は明かりを消して眠ったら自分という私はもう二度と目覚めず、明日の朝からは私の体を乗っ取った違う男が生活を始めるのではないか。そんな恐怖が数えきれぬほどの夜に私を苛み続けました。
彼も何度かはそれが自分の正しい記憶であると受け入れようと努力したのです。自分は後宮バトラであると何度も念じ続けました。
ですがダメだった。
He has no relation to Battler anymore.
私は私、八条東也なんです。頭の中にどれほど後宮バトラの記憶が溢れようとも、それは私には他人の記憶なんです。私には後宮バトラを受け入れることは
As Ushiromiya Butler said this, he hung his head and his eyes turned red.
彼はある日、自分と受け入れられぬもう一人の自分との板挟みに発作的に運よく一命を取り留めましたが、その時の怪我から車椅子で生活せざるを得ない体に。
Oh dear. Oh no. Now I know why he showed up in that wheelchair. And now I know why he refused to meet with me. He was afraid that I would call him Big Brother. He was terrified of meeting me, fearful that the part of himself that wasn't him would grow still further in his mind.
それでも彼は戦ったのです。自分の中に後宮バトラがいる以上、あなたに会うのがその義務ではないか。そう思い、彼は何度も二人の自分の狭間で戦ったのです。
Was that why, in a way, he kept writing? Like, as a way to cope with that? And then he had a fit. After something like that, it was only natural that Ikuko would tell him that he didn't need to remember Ushiromiya Batra anymore. Bit by bit, he tried to forget that he was once Ushiromiya Batra. Doctor's instructions and medication. With that and Ikuko's diligent care, he slowly began to regain his peace of mind.
それでもあなたに会わなければならないと思っていました。正直なところ、私は昨べ一睡もできませんでした。あなたに会うことが恐ろしかった。あなたと会うことで私は死ぬのではないか、そう怯えたのです。
It's quite a tragedy in itself.
しかし私は今ここにいて、あなたとこうして普通に会話をしています。
Do you think this very long pause when he was looking at the photo was him having one last conversation with Butler?
だから後悔しているのです。もっと早く私はあなたに会っておけば、あなたも私の中の後宮バトラもこんなにも長い年月、それが申し訳なくて。
Oh. As the one who was once Ushiromiya Butler said this, he broke down crying. I already understood. So it really was true. Ushiromiya Butler did die that day. After all, didn't the witches say that he was dead so often with the red truth? How pathetic for the witch of resurrection, the witch of the future, who swore that everyone will be together always.
どうやさん、どうかお顔を上げてください。
They realized why I had called him Toya-san. By calling him by that name, I myself felt the agitation in my heart subside a little.
ずいぶん苦しまれたのでしょうね。本当にありがとう、東野先生。
Man. Pain.
ありがとう、兄さん。今日は無理をしてここまで来てくれてありがとう。
Holding hands, we brought our foreheads close and cried together for a while. Then we talked of the old days. He remembered many things vividly, even things that I couldn't remember myself. Each time they made me cry even harder, and he hung his head apologetically. I realized how much this hurt him, so I kept nodding in encouragement with a strange look on my face, something between a sob and a smile. Even if he wasn't Ushiromiya Batra, my Oni-chan came back to me. Welcome home, Oni-chan. Oh my god, the miracle has happened, and I'm not okay. It had already gotten dark outside. Even though he had come from far away, he was willing to stay as late as this. He left the store. It's probably best if I don't meet with Mr. Toya again. It will cause him pain, and of course, I'll find myself bound to the past again. Even so, just one more time, there was one place I felt I had to show him.
トヤ先生、最後にもう一度だけお会いしてくださいませんか。どうしても先生をご案内したい場所があるんです。
ええ、いいですとも。
From my handbag, I pulled an invitation written on a folded up piece of A4 paper. The pair of them spread it out.
おや、これは素敵な催しですね。
そういえば先生は小説の他にもいろいろとご活躍でいらっしゃいましたね。
その日にもう一度だけお時間をくださいませんか。それで私も兄も納得すると思います。東野先生も兄の記憶の重責から解放されていいと思います。
予定は問題ないです。文庫の後書きさえ終わらせておけば。
わかりました。寿先生、ぜひお伺いさせてもらいます。
ありがとう、東野先生。
Oh, man. The pain, the bittersweetness. I'm dead. The cold October night was a reminder that winter was approaching. The two people who called themselves Hachijo Toya visited the city once again by Anja's invitation. Where are they going? A car stopped in front of a large building. Ikuko unfolded the wheelchair with a practiced hand, lent a shoulder to Toya as he got out of the passenger seat and helped him into the chair.
立派ですね。
福音の家、来るのは初めてですが、よく知っています。
No! Not the Fukuina house!
が援助していた子供のための施設のはずです。
育子先生、東野先生、本日は福音の家までようこそいらっしゃいました。
They were welcomed by Anja and soon some staff members. This was the Fukuin House, a welfare institution for unfortunate children who had lost their parents. Oh, the Fukuin House was converted to an orphanage. In the past, this institution had been established thanks to Shiromiyakin's support. However, that support had been interrupted and the Fukuin House had been forced to shut down for a time. Decades passed, and now the institution would be revived by the hand of Kotobuki Yukari.
寿先生、お久しぶりですね。本日はお招きに預かりました。これ、私たちからです。わずかですが、施設の子供たちに。
決してそのようなつもりでお招きしたわけではないのに、本当に申し訳ございません。
どうかお気になされず、未来の物語を紡ぐのはいつだって子供たち。彼らがいなければ人間の物語は続かないのですから。
True.
子供は宝です。ですから、どうか役立ててください。
ありがとうございます。寄付金の用紙がありますので、ご面倒でなければご記入を。
The Fukuin house had been drastically remodeled in recent years, in the hopes that children would one day be able to remember this as a fun place. Anja used her own money to massively remodel it into a beautiful establishment. By now, she had accumulated a lot of wealth as a novelist. But even without that, she had been saving the tens of millions of yen she got from the Shiromiya group each year under the name of living expenses. His money had been used generously to help the children. She's so based. Oh, no! Halloween party! When the children came into the entrance hall, a cheerful scene was spread before them. There were pictures of crafts created by the children. Every corner was filled with things on display. The contrast between this elegant building and the school atmosphere was amusing. The yells and laughter of kids running around drifted in from the distance.
悲しみにうつむいて、ここへやってくる子供も多いでしょう。それが、あんな笑い声を聞かせてくれるようになるのですから。あなた。
人は誰だって未来を生み出し、幸せのかけらを見つける魔法が使えるんです。ここはそういう魔法を教える魔女の学校なんです。
作太郎の大冒険に出てきた魔女の寄宿舎のことですね。
Yes.
あら恥ずかしい。東野先生もお読みになられていたのですか。
先日のご縁以来、早々に読破しました。 寿先生の文才のみならず、その温かなお心には本当に頭が下がります。
With the same warm heart that Maria taught her, huh? And Butler too.
どうぞ。そこの突き当たりです。
Pushing Toya's wheelchair, we advanced through the corridor and reached the great doors at the end. The happy voices of children came from the other side. Apparently this was where tonight's party was being held. There were several jack-o'-lanterns cut out of origami. Tonight was the Fukuin house's Halloween party. Stop! I'm going to die!
これを。
なるほど。トリックオアトリートというわけですね。
He was handed a bag filled with candy. A teacher warned him in a small voice to watch out for rampaging children.
子供か。もう何年も触れ合っていません。
どうか子供たちに夢を語ってあげてください。みんなお客様を歓迎しますよ。
これは困った。何を語ってあげればいいやら。
原稿の持ち込みはよく出版社を選びましょう。
読者アンケートなんて気にしない。
それでは開けますよ。子供たちが待ってますよ。
Anjay opened the large double doors. No!
ここ。
You wouldn't do this to me now! At the side of the hall, Toya opened his mouth in wide-eyed shock. This was the great hall of the Shiromiya mansion. No, that's impossible. Even the painting is here. It's definitely the Fukuin house, but its hall was just like the one in Rokenjima mansion.
素敵なホールですね。
これはロケン島の後ろ宮家のお屋敷のホールの。
ええ、私の記憶の中にあるものを再現しました。
Oh my god.
間違っているかもしれませんが。
いいえ、これは本当にあの日の後ろ宮家のお屋敷のホールです。
On that Halloween party. And then Toya's eyes fixed on something at the other side of the room. The painting. It's your wife! It was a portrait. A portrait of Rokenjima's older master.
記憶のものに全く同じだ。
後ろ宮金蔵が肖像画を描かせた職人が写真を持っていました。それをもとに書き起こさせました。
Oh my god! The same picture! I was simply frozen in shock. The long, large table was filled with Halloween party food and surrounded with children stuffing themselves. The teacher said, "Everyone, we have guests." The children all looked up at us at once, then stood up and ran forward. Their broad smiles at the arrival of this long-awaited guest enveloped me. The smiles and eyes of the children welcomed me. Yeah, I know. I know all your faces. It's been so long. Far too long. I'm finally here at last.
お帰りなさいませ。
遅いではないか。
お待ちしておりました。
おかえり。おかえりなさい。
元気そうだの。
バトラ君。
おう、元気そうやな。
おかえりなさい。
ウリュウ、おかえり、バトラ。
みんな待ってたわよ。
Oh my god.
バトラさん。
ようやく主品の到着ね。
おかえりなさい
Oh my god,
おかえり
stop.
なさいませ。
バトラ卿。
おかえりなさいませ、バトラ様。
おかえりなさい。
よ、遅いぞバトラ。
待たせすぎよ。
待っていました、バトラ君。
やっと来たか。
待っていました。
I'm sorry, guys. This just took me off guard. I wasn't expecting that.
バトラ卿。
Oh my god.
バトラ卿に敬礼。
Oh my god, I'm sorry. Even the Polycule is here.
お兄ちゃん、おかえり。
Oh my god. Oh, there she is.
待ちくたびれたぞ、バトラ。
すまねえ。来るのが遅れちまった。
そなた、なぜ車椅子なんぞ座っておるのか。ほら、 手を貸してやるからしゃんとせい。
Beato stepped forward and held out at Battler as he sat in the wheelchair. Battler slowly grasped that hand and rose to his feet.
聞け。ここにようやく我らは全員が集ったぞ。今宵黄金鏡はここに復活する。
An explosive applause greeted Battler. Everyone was there. Everyone. Then Beato hugged Battler, strongly, tightly, as though she would never let him go.
よく帰ってきたな。
帰ってきたぜ。遅くなったな。
もう話さぬぞ。
Don't ever.
俺ももう話さない。俺たちは永遠に一緒だ。
Yes, they will forever. Guys, oh, it's over. We finished Umineko when they cry. Oh, I thought like, I've managed. I'm not crying right now. And then the scene came, and it was. I felt like a hand grip straight at my throat and my heart. I just couldn't do it, and I had to hold back. I was actually this close to just screaming and crying, sobbing ugly, but I didn't. It's already almost midnight and I didn't want to disturb anyone. It was really hard holding back like that, and that was me holding back. Oh my god. The miracle in a way still happened, didn't it? Oh my god, guys. Oh, it's like I said before, I'm speechless. I don't have the words. We finished Umineko tonight. At least the main stories. I don't know when I'll be doing the side stories, but honestly, I don't think I will ever be able to find the words how to describe Umineko to me, but people don't joke when they say peak fiction. And I don't even feel like peak fiction describes enough what Umineko just did to me in all these past 3 years. 3 years, guys! We spent 3 years reading this! I feel like I'm a changed person after reading Umineko. Sounds a bit dramatic, but it's true. Oh. Just, oh my god, just bravo 7th expansion, bravo Ryukishi. There aren't enough words to describe the kind of beautiful story that Umineko was for me these past 3 years. I know I joke a lot, I know I meme a lot, I know I may be kinda cringe with some comments. I offer up this tale to my beloved witch Beatrice. Sorry. Stop. I already cried enough. Today. No more. No. Oh, I want to make this a wallpaper. I want to like print it. The Golden Witch has prepared a gift for you in commemoration of your stay. You can find this new feature on the title screen. What do you mean? What do you mean? Is there more? No more. No more. No more. I don't think I can take any more crying today. Probably just the title screen. Oh, look at that. It's the Rokkenjima Island. Music box. Oh, this is probably a how it's the entire OST. Skip scary tunes. This is so cute. An OST box. Oh my god. Ah. Okay, let's switch over to the just chatting screen before we close out the stream because I am not. I am. Oh, I am feeling things, but okay, let's switch over. GM audio on? It is. My god, guys. We finally did it. We did it. We completed Umineko. All 8 episodes after 3 years of reading this. And like I said, I may have made jokes, I may have made memes, I may have yelled, I may have had false readings, I may have been cringe for some people. But I cannot describe the absolute effect and Umineko had to me in my heart. What it means to me now. I feel, like I said, it might be a bit dramatic, but I feel like a changed person after this. Umineko ruined my life. Ruined my life. The last time I cried this hard at an ending was in Yakuza Like a Dragon. In Yakuza 7. And I was expecting to cry in episode 8, and I did. A fair bunch of times, but when I thought I finally made it through, that I had shed enough tears, and that final image scrolled Sojo over. It was Sojo over, guys. It's late and I need to go to bed soon, but I don't know how I will ever formulate my words for Umineko. Just an incredible story, so beautiful. Just wow. Just wow. I wonder how it was for others as well, but okay, one good thing about having finished reading all 8 episodes of Umineko means I can finally start interacting with artists and all. I can finally start following artists, looking at the tags, because at this whole time I've been avoiding following artists because I didn't want to get spoiled. Now I can. That's the upside of it. The downside is we're almost through with all of Umineko because, okay, we're not 100% done with Umineko yet because we have the side stories, which I'm probably gonna take a little bit of a break from Umineko before we get back into the side stories because I really want to let it sit in me. I want to let episode 1 to 8 sit within me for quite a while. I did hear that the manga version of episode 8 is a bit more of an expansive take on episode 8. So I'm not sure when I'll be doing a manga reread from start to finish because I do like to take peeks into the manga for like scenes because I want to see them drawn in manga form, and I jump in and check a little bit from the chapters that I have read, but I haven't read them like thoroughly completely, you know? So I'm going to have to think about when I'll read the manga, probably offline. The side stories, I think I'll take, like I said, I'll take a little bit of a break from Umineko for a while to let it simmer in me for a while. And because, you know, it's been 3 years, we did a little bit of a break. Then I'll read the side stories. I don't know how many there are and how long they take. So maybe we need 2-3 streams for it. Or maybe I'll read them offline at my own time. but I think I'll read them online just so we have everything, right? I do hear there's also a bonus chapter, so I don't know when I'll read it or if I'll read it on stream. And what we will definitely play on stream though at some point is Golden Fantasia, because this whole 3-year journey reading Umineko was just not just because I wanted to read Umineko, but because I wanted to finally play Golden Fantasia. And now I can! I finally can! And I know it has story modes as well, so we're probably gonna have to do all the story modes first so that we have that through too. Oh, that's so much still, but okay. Let's see if I still have anybody left to raid before I sleep. Because there's not much left that I have to say because my brain is shambled and I need to go to bed. So, let's see. Oh! Speaking of Umineko, we might go a little bit further back. But I'm gonna be raiding Starlight Katie. They are also reading Umineko right now. They're on episode 7's tea party, so we're jumping a whole episode back. But please, do not spoil them. They are reading this blind, so everybody, I know everyone who was here already experienced quite a bit, but let Katie experience the story, okay? So, next stream, right? Okay, next Tuesday. I'll be playing some Shaman King Master of Spirits 2 again. And next Thursday, I don't know what I'll do next Thursday, to be honest. I'll think about it. But okay, let's go raid Starlight Katie. And I'll see you guys next Tuesday with some Retro Tuesday. And I hope you all guys have a good night. Thank you for being here. Even those who lurked. Really means a lot. So, have a good night everybody and I'll be seeing you. Bye bye!